Hey, what's going on, everybody on the YouTubes? It is your host, Brad LeBaron, and I'm here with John. And we're not doing the podcast yet. We're at the listen through part of the podcast. And we are going to be listening to a very special album. Jordan. Sorry, for some reason I almost said Jordan Peterson because that's like, anyway, horrible intro. We have Jordan Duffy and her epic album on the Nights Like These that just came out this year. Welcome, Jordan Duffy, to the listen through. And I probably should have introduced Danielle first, so that we could have ended by, whatever. We also have Danielle, a former guest, coming on to be a special co-host. So thank you, Danielle, for coming on for the listen through. Yeah, I don't really have like a figured out like intro for the reaction part of everything. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of wing it. But Jordan, thank you for coming on. How you doing? How's life been since releasing your first album?
Well, thank you for having me on. This is an honor.
Thank you.
And life has been good. If anything, I need to just promote more of the album, but I am so happy that the album's out.
Yeah.
This is technically my second album, but it's definitely my baby, and it feels like me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's really cool to see you have grown through all this time.
Yeah.
Like we had one of your, I think it was like a demo of one of your previous songs that we put at the end of one of our episodes, and you've been keeping on it. So I'm really excited to dip into it. We brought Danielle on just as another co-host that can help us break this down. So I mean, it's going to be a little different than like normal episodes. Normal episodes, we don't have the actual artist on. So
I mean, I can hide. I'll hide.
No.
Plug
your ears.
Yeah.
Just hear it.
Oh no, is that me? But we'll do the listen through with her, and then we'll do our podcast like we always do, guys. So. Without further ado, let's tune into Nights Like These, and you guys just let me know if I need to adjust anything out there for this.
This is nerve-wracking. I have to admit, this is the first time, other than like my producer and mixer, that I've been like watching someone like listening to my song. I'm like, what's in your brain?
And to be perfectly honest, like I was also myself nervous at the prospect. So it's both. It's like I don't want to react wrong,
It showcases your confidence, because it is like it feels very vulnerable to kind of be in that kind of position.
It is very
kudos for you.
I did ask first. I was like, hey, you are like
you did
comfortable
and I was like,
with
let's
this.
do it. And now I made it bad.
It's like, ooh, I don't know. I'm excited to dive into it, and it'll be fun to like actually like be able to like ask you questions as it's going. Like we've like had people on that we've done the we've talked about their album with them, but we've never done the listen through part with them. So this is definitely a new experience for us as well. So I'm really excited. Without further ado, we got Nights Like These, starting with Let Me Down. I mean, do you have like a preamble, or do you have anything you want to say before we get into it? I like feel weird.
No, don't feel weird.
Yeah.
The album is called Nights Like These because the majority of the songs were written on those like really sad, vulnerable nights where like you're like just staying up late and you're like racking your brain like, oh, why did so and so do this, or like why did this happen, or just
what did this mean?
All the feels. So that's like, even though it's Nights Like These and there's a song called Nights Like These, it's really like you're spending your time with my nights like these. So
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's a really good description of it.
Stuck in your own
Yeah,
head.
and you really get the
yeah, stuck
feeling.
in your own head.
You really get the feeling like listening to all these, like it's very relatable. So let's
Yeah.
get to the first track then. Here is "Let Me Down." Hell yeah! I do really, I think it's a good little teaser for the very front of it.
I agree.
Yeah,
It's a really strong, like a strong start to the album.
yeah. And I probably will bring up Kelly Clarkson once or twice because
Oh yeah.
that is the voice that like I think of when I hear your voice a lot.
That's a big compliment, so I will take it.
Because like that was my shit when I was in the 2000s, and probably too proud to admit it.
All right, we all like the little Kelly Clarkson.
Hey man, I have hazel eyes. Sometimes there was feelings behind my hazel eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, postponing the episode like we did, this has gotten stuck in my head a lot, like the tracks have. So,
This one?
well, I mean, just several of the tracks in general. I mean, it's like, it's good pop music because it gets stuck in your head, So, yeah.
The earworm. Huh?
Yeah. It passes the earworm test of pop music.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah.
what I want.
Yeah. So is this guitar your buddy you were talking about?
Which no, not this guitar.
Kidding.
That's a CMF.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wrote like notes for every track.
Nice.
Oh yeah. I wrote strong, funky wind. That's cool.
I'm gonna turn it down just a hair so we can hear each other. Okay. Actually, wait. Hold on. Is our volume independently controlled?
You control it, don't you?
I just turned it down a teeny bit. Did it change for you guys?
A little.
Okay.
I went in and did it myself also.
Like, is it louder now? And softer now? And softer
Not
now?
for me.
Okay, I think we.
Sounds like louder.
Okay, I think we individually control the volumes of Spotify. Just FYI.
That makes sense.
Okay. Oh, is it already over? Oh, damn.
Already over.
All right.
You
Next
didn't
time we
want
got
it
for
to
you.
end.
Now, this is the first single, right?
The first single from this album was actually Nights Like These.
Oh, it was nicely.
This is
Okay.
I like this one a lot.
And then Stay
Oh.
With Me. And then this was actually the third one.
Oh.
This came out in January.
Oh, well, that's
What was?
a good sign because it's got more views or more listens on Spotify than the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also, the music video is over 100K, which is like crazy to me.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's yeah.
My PR is super great, and everyone loved this song.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we need to have like a fun video with this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I remember when it came out. Like I saw it like day one or whatever, so it was only like hundreds or
Like,
thousands or
100,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like 105, I think, and I'm like, what? How did this happen?
That's really exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was like production like? Like how long was that process for like the whole album?
It was about 2 years because I
Wow,
believe
okay.
my first album came out in June of 23, and we pretty much bounced right back into the studio for this one. Yeah. So late summer, early fall of 23 is when we were bouncing back in. So anywhere from like a year and a half to 2 years. It definitely was a little bit faster than the first album. But
Okay.
yeah. But I also came into these projects with, these are songs that I either wrote 10 years ago or I wrote like within the past 6 months. Like this song in particular, I wrote in like fall, winter of 23 or early 24. So this was like a quicker turnaround. Where Nights Like These, the one after this, I wrote when I was 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nights Like These was actually supposed to be a slow, sad song.
Okay, so it has changed. The way it sounds has changed.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to think about that when we're hearing that.
Yeah.
How did you decide like what song would run the first album? Because you said you've been writing since then, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the first album I picked some of my favorites and I thought would be good to work with my producer. My producer and I, her name is Party Nails, but she also goes by Alana. I know her by Alana. But Party Nails and I, we were friends first. I took a class with her to learn Ableton Live. And then a month after the class ended, I was like, for some reason, I feel like I need to email her and be like, I think we need to be best friends. And I don't know why. And it was like right when COVID happened. And so her and I would just have like Zoom dates for like a year.
That's nice.
It was very nice. And so she was an engineer and I was an engineer. So it was just nice to talk to another female in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then before I knew it, I was like, would you want to produce my album? And she was like, yeah, let's do this. So
cool.
I should mention to Danielle, you were the first female engineer to Earwolf, right?
Yeah, I was the very first.
Super cool.
Yeah. Jordan
That's
broke
so
the glass
cool.
ceiling at Earwolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We need more of that and everything.
I want to think it's from Hollywood Handbook relentlessly making fun of Earwolf for not hiring any female engineers.
They were like, enough, we can't keep with this.
Yeah, every time there was an engineer on, they'd be like, oh, great, another dude. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. That's a fun
song.
I like that one a lot.
It is a fun song.
Did you ever listen to Utada Hikaru, like from Japan? She's
possibly.
She like did the Kingdom Hearts song, the Simple and Clean song.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, a few of the like songs have similar production styles to some of the stuff she does.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to re-listen then to those.
Yeah, she was like doing like I feel like she kind of almost paved the way for like the K-pop that came later, you know? Like she kind of had a failed like American album that just did not take off at all, and
probably would kill.
But her Japanese albums are really, really great pop music.
That's cool.
Now, is this a real saxophone, or is that?
Yes, it is a real sax.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
It's an alto sax, and if you know Ninja Sex Party, it's actually Ninja Brian who's playing.
Okay.
Or it's Brian from Ninja Sex Party, but his sax name is Trey Magnifique.
That's a good name for a sax.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
It's a very sexy sax.
Very sexy sax
It
name.
is, yeah, absolutely.
And I would like to say, because my brother will hurt me if I don't say this, my brother actually had the idea, and he was like, Brian, he plays saxophone. Like there needs to be a sax in this. I was like, no way.
Dude.
And then I just reached out and I was like, would you want to do this? And he was like, sure. And he's also in the music video.
I was about to ask that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
That's
he looks
great.
so cool in the video.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
It's got
awesome.
like very 80s vibes. It's like 80s sax vibes.
100%. And we really leaned into that with the music video because it's like kind of me going through 80s like horror things where
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
it's like different nightmare after nightmare.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize there was music videos. I just clicked on this. Now I'm like disappointed.
I
could have done a little more research.
I should have sent you the music videos. Yeah.
I didn't even think to look. That's one
It's okay. Yeah. And my brother and his team called the oh my god. I'm blanking on their team name.
Is that the brother you moved out there with? Or did you move out there with your brother?
He followed me.
Oh, okay. Okay. He tagged along.
He tagged along.
He's like, you're in LA. I want to be in LA.
It's the Painfully Creative team, and they're the ones who like came up with the storylines and filmed everything with me. And I had a lot of
this part.
like, this part. Oh,
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
There's like some vaporwave shit.
Yeah.
And he improv the whole thing. I was so impressed.
Oh, really?
He came in the studio.
Cool.
I think he was like in and out in like 30 minutes.
Wow. That's a
It was
pro.
really
That's a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that repeating
Yeah.
is actually my brother singing. So he
Oh.
did the backing vocals in this one.
Oh, that's cool.
That's nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It also like gives me like a bird's eye view of like how much goes into every album ever. And you know what I mean? Like you're like like referencing all of these people on individual songs, and it's like you kind of, I guess, as like a like outside of the industry kind of person.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't think of those components. So that's
Remember,
really
kids,
cool.
read your liner notes.
Oh, yeah.
That's where everyone's
Some of those liner
mentioned.
notes are big, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or just go to Wikipedia and look up the personnel. They're
Yeah.
all mentioned, especially for some.
Yeah, like whenever I look at like a Kendrick Lamar album, it's just a huge page of personnel because he finds everyone.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine, I have to say, like, so I have like a physical album, and on the booklet, it's a very short list of people. Like, there's one drummer throughout the entire album, which is actually Billie Eilish's drummer, who's her band leader.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, his name is Andrew Marshall. So impressive.
Yeah.
Also, someone who did drums in a full day, got all the songs done.
Wow.
Super great to work with.
Dang, you got some real pros.
I got some real pros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one. This has got like
Some deep bass.
what's the vibe?
This
I
one,
was
I'm
thinking?
really intrigued on how you guys feel.
It's like
I like this one. This one's I'll say some things when we're in the meeting.
I'm trying to put my finger on like what it reminds me of, you know? Because that's where my brain immediately goes with music.
No, same.
Yeah.
I usually come into the studio and I go to my producer and I'm like, this is how I want people to feel listening to
Right.
this.
Yeah.
So,
You ever listen to what's her name? Marina and the Diamonds?
yes, I love Marina and the Diamonds.
I was gonna say I definitely got a few Marissa vibes in a couple of these tracks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That particular album is fucking so good.
That was my jam in college.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, we did it for the podcast.
Cool.
Yeah. Most
That's
of
one that we
most of
should have
pop
done
music.
together.
Yeah, it was one that was recommended by one of the guests brought to the table actually. Yeah, so
It's kind of giving me a little like Amy Lee vibes. A little bit.
Okay.
When she brings it.
oh
down
like
a
like
notch.
from is that Evanescence?
Evanescence, yeah.
Amy Lee? Oh yeah, I could see
Like
that.
when she brings it down a notch and she's
Yeah.
not just doing the hard.
Yeah, yeah.
or the
Yeah.
hard-
Yeah.
Writing all these names down.
Yeah, same.
So, fun fact, this song was first a poem. I wrote it back in college,
Okay.
and then we turned it into a song.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Is that how you like started with your songwriting as poetry, or?
No, I usually do guitar, and then the lyrics come from that later. But when I was in college, I took a lot of creative writing courses, and this was just one of the like assignments that we had. And I remember looking at the lyrics, the poem being like, these would be really good lyrics. And so I made it into a song. So, but this was like the first time I did that. It's usually guitar, like, and then lyrics after that.
How long have you been songwriting?
Oh, I can remember very little with like a tape recorder, just like humming melodies into the tape recorder. And when I was 12, I didn't know how a piano was set up, so I like literally numbered each key, like 1 through however. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it would be like C to C, D to D.
Yeah.
And so I have books that are just random numbers, like 112 to 49 to 56, and it was just me like hitting the keys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it
yeah.
took me a second. Yeah.
Yes, and then in high school I learned that like chords and their
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, this is similar to how I learned how to play bass. I was like, all right, first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret.
Yeah.
First string, fourth, second string, third string, fourth string.
Yeah.
Combination of those.
Yeah. Yeah. And in high school, I took piano first, and then I went to guitar, and then I went to electronic music. So I was fortunate to go to a school that had nice music courses.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that is
yeah.
a real blessing for sure.
Yes. And it was in guitar class where I was getting bored of the assignments that we had to do because we'd be like, here's a C chord over and over and over again. And so I just started making, even before I knew music theory, I just started making songs in high school.
Yeah.
And my first song on the guitar was about a toad eating a crunchy leaf and then exploding from it. I don't know what it was all about, but that's what I wrote about. So,
all right.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
and that was, I'm sorry, what age was that again?
I was 16 when I wrote the Crunchy Leaf song.
Okay. That's a little older than I was expecting.
Yeah, I should like 15, 16. I should have known in that moment that I should have gone into improv much sooner.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
How is the improv going?
It's good. I'm a UCB improv graduate. I'm part of a team.
Nice.
Dang.
We're called Toontown, and we perform all over LA.
That's great. I just got into improv like in December.
Nice.
It's so addictive. It's like
It really is.
Yeah.
I signed up for the 101 being like, I'm never going to do this. And I was like, oh, God, I'm sucked in.
I'm in the 101 right now and like in Halifax. And it's just like, it's shocking how like fun and like how good it is and all the things. Like, and like you said, I wish I got into it sooner. I just never really considered it before. So.
Well, improv can be really intimidating, you know, like.
Yes.
Because like I did improv. I did a little bit of improv in like high school, and it's like, it really is. You watch like Whose Line Is It Anyways, or even some like SNL stuff, you know, and you're like, I could do that, and then you do it, and you're like, oh shit, my brain froze. I need to think of something, you know, like.
I can't imagine doing improv with other high schoolers, because high schoolers, like, I know, even when I was in high school, I was like, oh, I do not like anyone in my high school. Like, everyone was just over the top, so I can't imagine throwing high schoolers and also, like, theater people into improv. I feel like that would be a lot.
That's what it was. It was called, we would call it comedy sports, and it was ran by the woman who, like, ran the drama department at the high school. It was just all a bunch of theater kids who loved Whose Line Is It Anyway, pretty much, you know. It was a lot of fun though.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I get it. It's like, it is like, I didn't do it in high school either, so I get, like, I feel like I like it that I started at this age, because I feel like it's like a passion I can kind of throw myself into and like kind of become more well versed in. Like, a lot of people, they have that theater background. I don't have it. But I'm like, oh, I get to learn about something new today. This is really cool. Like, so, yeah.
I've always wanted to take improv classes.
You should do it.
Yeah.
I think you'd have
I didn't know it was a thing until, well, I watched Who Was Line Is It Anyway when I was younger, but it wasn't until I was working in a warehouse and consuming comedy Bang Bang at an alarming rate that I really understood what improv was. And like, for me, it's like, improv is in a podcast, not on a stage, you know?
That makes sense, yeah.
So it's like, I feel like I'm in a weird, like, I want to be involved with improv, but I'd rather do it in, like, you know, comedy Bang Bang format, or on a mic in a room, you know, not in front of an audience, you know?
That's fair.
Yeah. It's far more tame and calculated when you're, like, sitting down and trying to be this character and, like, improv. Like, improvising off of other characters, where, like, when you're on stage and you have so much access in room, you're like, oh god, like, you have to think so fast. I mean, even those on Comedy Bang Bang, they're thinking so fast, and they're seasoned improvisers.
Yeah.
But it's another to be with, like, a group of people that you really trust and appreciate, and then doing improv and just
that was like, Stay With Me. It's a very good song.
Happens.
Sorry.
Thank you, Brad.
I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that Stay With Me is a very good song.
But yeah, and I get what you're saying, especially because it's one of those things too. I find it's a really good test to chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, improv is like you can do a scene with like 20 different people, but there's certain people you're just like you can click with everyone on some level, but certain people you're like, this is gonna flow, this is gonna be awesome. Like especially if you've been scene partners a few times with one another.
Yeah.
It's like nice.
Yeah.
You kind of get a rhythm.
Oh.
And, like, it's really cool.
I love this track.
This is your Kelly Clarkson song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got enough of that rock edge to it that it's pop rock, not just pop, you know.
My mixer, he was like, "This is like Since You've Been Gone vibes." I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Definitely.
We all love a little Kelly. I mean,
Dude, I'm saying, I don't know.
Rock that song when it comes on.
I'm so glad
It's
that
so
like
good.
I'm so glad that like history's been so kind to her too, you know? Like we've all loved Kelly Clarkson, and then like they gave her a TV show. It's like she's a nice lady too. Like
Yeah, he could have ruined it. But
Yeah.
no, she's just so sweet. and
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about any of the skeletons in her closet, please. I think she's nice right now. If she's got skeletons.
Probably okay.
I
Best
feel
winner
like,
of American Idol ever.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like
original.
if you can survive filming Justin to Kelly, you can survive anything.
Oh my god, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And that was contractually obligated. Like,
Yeah.
you had to do that.
Oh yeah, I
So
didn't.
awkward.
Yeah, it's so weird. I didn't know about that till later.
Yeah, because they were both forced to do it. So
Yeah, you can tell with the chemistry,
yeah.
non-existent.
Oh man.
I really like the other vocals with this part,
Yeah.
the gang vocals or whatever.
Oh, you say the gang vocals?
Is that what it's called? When it's like a lot of
Maybe.
people. That's what they call it.
never-
That's what they call it in
Is that what
emo
they call it?
bands.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, it truly was just us, like feet away from the microphone, just screaming the words. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
correct. We took multiple takes of it. So
Well,
my
it
producer-
really gives it that kind of like indie rock vibe when
Yeah.
you do that kind of thing. I think it's
Yeah.
like almost a Paramore-y kind of move.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
I also, with each song, so the majority of these songs are written about people. I will not say who they are on this.
Okay, all right.
But
That's
what
fine.
what I can,
I'm gonna have to throw away this page of questions though.
I will try my best to share
Improv.
as much as I can. I'll improv, yeah.
Yeah.
But like Means sounded that way because who it's about
Okay.
was a very like emo, heavy metal
Oh.
person.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh. Okay. I like
I wrote
that.
in response to him being like so confusing to me, and I'm like, dude, this is like I can't. But like he listened to like heavy metal music, and I was like, all right, well, if it's about him, then I should also correlate it to.
That's
how it
nice.
should sound.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like another layer of creativity. Which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. And this is also written about someone. This song.
Now this
is
one I
the-
did wonder who it was about. This is the one where I was just like, okay, who hurt Jordan?
It truly is someone, and I I cannot say who it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will tell you that it is someone within the famous world,
Okay.
and someone who I have recorded
It does.
before.
It does sound like, you know, it does sound like that.
And it wasn't just me that they heard; it was a group of people and people who mean a lot to me.
Oh.
And I was just so angry.
Yeah.
And this was probably the fastest I wrote a song, like from the event happening, and like within 12 hours, I wrote this whole song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
not
it-
surprising.
Yeah, and I gave it to my producer. I was like, "Is there a way to do like a Charlie XCX kind of sound?" She's like, "I got you." So, and that's what we came up with.
That's a good note for the producer.
Yeah.
It's like, I got you.
Yeah. Oh, she knocked it out of the park. So.
Oh yeah, I suppose that this was being worked on during Brat Summer, right?
Or we
Yeah,
enjoyed
yeah.
Breath Summer
Yeah,
around
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You had
But
some
I
you had
think-
some great inspiration around you for
We had some great
for
inspiration.
production.
I think
yeah.
we were also referencing another song from an earlier album. Again,
Well, yeah,
all
yeah.
of Charlie has great songs.
Yeah.
So-
She's always had like a pretty good catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's so amazing to work with a producer who I'm like, this is how I imagine it, and they're like, cool, and she ran with it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but this
Nice.
is probably the quickest turnaround we've done of a song. Just
Okay.
because it was like so crystal clear. I was so angry. I was so mad. And then she got the prompt and she was like, let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. It's definitely a song you throw on and you like run on the treadmill and you're like, I hate you.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you a lot of these questions again, of course, but are you going to try to go on like any tours or like a mini like show tour or anything like that?
I would like to. Right now, the game plan is just to get like one show like set up in LA.
Yeah.
It's just finding musicians. Or
Oh,
I have to
right,
figure out
for
if
the
I
live-
Can't find those,
yeah.
if I can't find those musicians, then I kind of have to do a makeshift of like, do I have my computer and like the sound, almost to do like a kind of makeshift karaoke.
Yeah.
And that's something that my producer and I are working on. Because like we know a lot of musicians, but like also like I can't hit up my drummer. He's on tour with Billy.
Yeah.
for,
With
like,
Billy
years.
freaking Eilish.
Oh, yeah.
for like a couple of years. And
Yeah.
then I like another drummer I knew.
Oh,
She's
you'll like this
also on tour. So actually, this is my favorite song on the album.
Okay.
And this is my inspo, I think, for the next album. I really want
Ooh.
to.
That's cool.
You
I
know.
want to like
Oh, that's
hone in
cool.
onto that like soulful, bluesy folk. Because my
That
my
Dolly
songs-
Parton kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I lived.
Oh yeah.
I hate admitting this. I lived in Kentucky for like 2 years. I would not go back there. Nothing to do.
I will not go back there.
But
Kentucky's
I did
pretty
a ton of-
backwoods.
Yeah,
it is pretty backwards.
it's,
I did a ton of open mics in Kentucky, and it was super folky and country. And like, I'm not a hardcore country person, but if you listen to this, I'm like, I probably could pull it off.
and the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt very like organic and natural. Like when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
a departure," but I really liked it.
Yeah.
It's the unusual one of the whole album.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But when every
really
time
enjoyed it, though.
every time I hear it, I'm like, no, it and it wasn't gonna be on the album. I was gonna.
You're
take it off.
gonna pull a Killers. This is what
Pull a
this is what the Killers did. They had one song that was kind of like more Western, more country, and then the next album was mostly that.
But it was like I almost feel like you could feel it in the song that there was
Yeah.
like something like very like I don't know how to describe it other than when I
Yeah.
listened to it, I was like, this feels very authentic. Not that the
Yeah.
others didn't, but there
Yeah,
was like
definitely.
a different feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like early Sheryl Crow a little bit, like the first album.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Like,
referenced
strong
her a
enough
lot
kind.
for this album. We
Oh,
referenced,
really? Oh, cool.
oh my gosh, Michelle Branch. I didn't realize
Yeah.
I saw Michelle Branch live like a year or so ago,
Yeah.
and I was listening to her perform, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm heavily influenced by Michelle Branch and her songs. So, because
Yeah.
like Michelle Branch and Kelly Clarkson, it's like Michelle Branch is amazing, but like during that time, we just got
Yeah.
hit with all these like awesome female singers
Yeah.
in the early 2000s.
Everyone watch my Michelle Branch Saw music video on the channel.
Will do. That sounds like a really
I won't
good
give any
lyric
context.
right there. I wonder if I could go to the bathroom.
Oh
That
yeah,
was rude. Okay.
absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
What are you eating?
Pizza. Every Thursday night is pizza night for Brad.
Very nice. What kind of pizza? Like a local place?
Oh, lots of matzah. I don't know if you have that in your store. It's just in the oven.
Oh, okay.
No.
Got it.
Yep.
Back in Massachusetts, it's a square pizza. It's not the best pizza, but for some reason it's just nostalgic for me, and it's called Iligo's Pizza. And you buy it in the food store and cook it up, and it feeds the whole family, but it's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
Not out here.
Yeah, they're probably less about pizza, right? In general.
They don't here. Not to shame Southern California. They have great food.
Yeah.
But pizza, it's nothing like Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was born in Jersey. I know good pizza, and it's.
Oh, okay. Jersey's where you're from.
I say New Jersey and Massachusetts. I moved a lot growing up,
okay.
So it's hard for me to be like, this is my hometown.
Okay, you're from the East Coast.
I'm from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay.
And my whole family's like in the Bergen County, in Joyce, and the Bergen County of New Jersey.
Yeah.
So it's like 15-20 minutes from the city on a good day.
Yeah.
But then I lived in Worcester, Mass for so long that I just say Worcester. So I mean, I have Massachusetts tattooed on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like this bit here though.
Do you know that that's all me? Just all different harmonies, just singing.
Oh yeah.
It's just a ton of me.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
That's very cool.
It sounds it like sounds like a angelic chorus or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I play D&D. I'm sure I will one day, but we're trying. Like if I imagined a song for D&D, this is what I wanted. This guitar is from Tara from the band Kitty.
Yes. And you said that,
okay. This is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's her and I competing. You can hear me doing opera, and you can hear the guitar solo.
Oh shit! Are you?
That's me doing opera. Yeah.
What?
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's cool. I'll have to re-listen to that.
I'm gonna be honest. I could have done with that just a little louder in the mix, the operatic. That sounded very cool. That sounded very cool.
It's cool though. That's
Yeah.
a really cool like sound mixing like technique. To use that in that way. So that's cool. What were you saying about D&D?
This would be a good montage song.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, no. So if I imagined, I was saying that I haven't really played D&D. I'm sure I would have fun with it. My brother has, and like his friends. And if I imagined a song with D&D, it would be this one. And then my brother and his production team has a dream of doing a D&D based music video off of that song. So
that is so cool.
Yeah. So we will see if that happens.
What you gotta do, man?
I haven't started D&D, but I'm starting D&D in a couple weeks. Like my improv mate's like one of them is hosting, and she's like teaching me how to do it. So I'm like, oh yay, this is exciting. So
cool.
Yeah.
And then we end with a really slow song.
I love that though.
Yeah.
That's good. Sometimes I'm indifferent of artists who pick slow songs, but for me, the reason I chose this is because I wanted the album to end on a like hopeful note. Like I went through these series of dumb, stupid people.
I love this. This song is very romantic.
Yeah.
Like, it was very sweet. I really liked it. So
good.
It's nice.
Yeah. What I like about this song is like it's one that you could learn and play at a wedding.
Yeah.
It's like slow dancey.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I played all the synths you hear. They were also played improvised. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the backing vocal, that's my producer.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is my parents' favorite song.
Aww, that's really sweet.
And I was like, I'm gonna make it the last one on the record.
Closing out the night.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a sweet song. And this is also a song that's written about no one.
I love. Well, it's like
yeah.
Like I love that.
Man.
Well, it's about a future someone.
It's about a future
Okay, so
song.
would you say that the
Yeah.
rest of the songs are about someone specific?
Oh, yes.
And then this one is the only one not? Okay.
Yeah. This
That's
one
cool.
was written for me.
This might
I
actually
love it.
legitimately be a concept album.
I guess yeah, it could be.
I
Yeah.
think
I can see that.
when I was putting the album together and like matching like which songs would be in order,
Yeah.
it wasn't until then that I was like, oh, this kind of does make a story and an arc.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was when I realized that was my reasoning for having this as the last song.
Is that part of why you made the album called Nights Like These? Because it kind of
Yes.
encapsulates that?
Yeah. It was once I was looking at all the songs and being like, what could be a cool album title? I thought of like Flood Season. I thought of Not Your Dream Girl, but I felt that was like a little bit too negative. And then for me, I was like, oh, it's of course Nights Like These, because it's all those weird nights that you can't stop thinking about something. And so
Yeah, I think sometimes a good title is like vague enough to, encapsulate a lot of things.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like understated.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
And you don't gild the lily with another verse or chorus or whatever. You just let it. Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah. That's
You guys did it. You
that's a
made
nice,
it.
That was a nice listen. That was a nice
You made it.
That was
listen.
a nice listen through.
That was Jordan Duffy's Nights Like These, start to finish, and we reacted to it. And I think that we're going to take a quick break, though. I think John needs to attend to something, but we will be right back with you guys on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
Cool.
album concept hour. It's the album concept hour.
Hey, what's going on? It's the Album Concept Hour. I am your host, Brad LeBaron, as I always am here at youtube.com/FlyoverStatePark. I am joined, as always, by my co-host here, John, for the first little segment here. And this week we have a very special episode.
A very special guest.
With a very special guest. I am hearing a little bit of music playing in someone's channels.
I was gonna say, I don't
but-
know where it's coming from.
I thought that was you. I didn't think it was you.
Ghost in the Machine.
Yeah, I was like, I think I hear the album that we're going to cover. That's that's all right. You just heard our special co-host that's going to be on here for this very special episode. Danielle McQuarrie is coming back for this one. What's going on, Danielle?
Just enjoying Jordan Duffy's new album.
Hell yeah. Over there in Canada land, as we covered
Yes.
last time.
Canada land, yes, indeed.
Still very jealous of where you are, and as
Canadian
opposed to
freedom
where I am.
fighters.
But we have a very special guest today, and that is the person whose album we are covering tonight, Jordan Duffy. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your third time, but first time covering your own stuff. So I'm really excited to have you back.
So
Thank
that's
you
a very
all for
special
having me.
milestone, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Rarely ever have a guest who's been a guest
Yeah.
and then comes on to cover their stuff.
yeah. Because
Usually
like,
it's like we get a guest to cover their stuff, and then they might
yeah,
come
and then
on
they'll
one
come
or two-
back
yeah.
for covering something that they enjoy or something. Yeah, yeah. So you've done the opposite of
Yes.
a lot of our guests.
I
Yeah,
did the opposite.
Yeah.
I like to do things out of order, apparently. So, but I'm all for that.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Well,
You're welcome.
yeah. I think the first time you were on, we played like a demo of one of the songs you were working on at that point, and you've just
Yeah.
been keeping on making music since then. You're on your second album. This is so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So I'll ask you a few questions about it, and then we'll cover what we've been listening to. I know everyone's just chomping at the bit to find out what our newest playlists are and what have you. But let us know a little bit about the process. How long were you in the studio for this one? And how old are some of the older tracks, and new are some of the newer tracks?
The album has been about 1.5 to 2 years in the making. So a little bit faster than my first album. But you have songs on this album that were written anywhere from 6 months ago to well over 10 years ago. One of the songs that's named after the album, Nights Like These, was written when I was 18 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, they're all over the
Wow.
place. So it might be new to you, but
Yeah.
I've heard it for a while.
Yeah. Well, you were
Playing
you were
around
mentioning
head
that.
of yours.
Yeah, you were mentioning that during the listen through. It had that song in particular had some changes, of course, since you've had it so long. You said it used to be a little slower, more. Was it an acoustic song to start with?
Yeah, it was a really slow acoustic song that was like double the length that it's already a long song to begin with, but it was like double the length because it was slower.
Yeah, yeah. You were just like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna slow jam this 8-minute.
Yeah,
Thing.
it felt kind of like a moment of, I don't know. Have you guys ever seen That Thing You Do?
Oh,
course!
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
God, we love
You know
that
when they
movie.
bring in
Yeah.
the drummer
Yeah.
and they're like practicing, and then when they go to perform, he's like do 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 do, and they're like,
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt with Nights Like These, because I remember my producer being like, I did up the tempo, and I was like, what?
Oh.
And then I heard it, and I was like, oh, this is how it should have been.
Nice. Oh, wait. So did they up the tempo before the vocals were added to it, or was it like?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
It was. We knew the concept of the song. We
Yeah.
knew how it sounded.
Yeah.
And she went in and made it what it sounds like today. But
Yeah.
she was like, I did change the tempo, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And then she played it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna like you changing my precious 10+ year song. I don't know. I would assume you had some sort of some sort of.
But I was with Guy on that in that
Yeah.
you do, not the lead singer who's
Mm-hmm.
like, it's my way.
Well, I mean, that's
that
like
guy.
that's what's important in the production role or whatever is to make those calls and to be like, hey,
Yeah.
I know you love this, but we can make it even better,
Yeah.
and putting aside the egos or whatever to make that happen.
100%. And I have co-producer credits on all of the songs, but it's truly like Party Nails, who is my producer.
Mm-hmm.
She gets all of the credit.
Yeah.
And if anything, like I brought the songs to her, like, okay, here are the vocals and here's the guitar. How can we make this sound epic? And then she's like, okay, I got you. Like, let's do this. So, yeah. And then it's just her and I, like a true teamwork.
Yeah.
Putting these songs together, and I'll be like, no, I don't know about this, or she'll like show me something, and I'm like, holy cow, how did you do that? So.
Yeah. I'm sure they must appreciate the fact that you've done some engineering yourself. I'm sure. I always think about that when it comes to like, like singers, pop singers, but singers in general. Sometimes singing is all that you do in the studio, and then other times you're like you have your hands like dirty and in it.
Yeah, it's a totally different thought process. If I was just going in as a singer and just being told, okay, you're going to sing this, that's one thing. But like, and even if these weren't my songs, I still think I'd be like a stickler being like, hey, I hear this like a random note that's playing. And it turns out that like something wasn't turned off in one of the tracks. And so like, there have been moments where I'm like, what is this? And my producer and mixer would be like, what are you talking about? And then like we lower everything and they're like, how did you even hear that? I'm like, I got engineer ears, man. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. You have to cut out all of the like little tiny fart whispers from the studios, but that's really cool though that you can give to the project in that way, but what have you been let's get to our world famous segment. What have you been listening to lately? Maybe some of the stuff. What have you been listening to while you're listening to making the album or something too? We'll start with you this time, Jordan, our guest of honor. Hold on, are you muted? Can I hear you?
I think she's just thinking. Oh no, she is muted.
Oh no, she is muted.
Oh no!
Oh, sorry.
What happened?
That's weird.
Hold on, did I do it? 1 second. 1 second. Technical difficulties, gentlemen, ladies. I cannot hear you. Hold on, I'm gonna press this button and see what it does. Talk? No, can't hear her. Hold on. Check.
No, she's muted now.
Oh no.
What happened?
Wait, Danielle, can I still hear you?
Can you?
Oh no, she's muted now. Oh God!
Oh, she's back.
Wait.
Somebody's back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I still can't hear Jordan though. That's so weird. Jordan, you wanna jump out and jump back in, maybe? Yeah, we'll have our guest of honor back in 1 second, guys. What about you, Danielle? What have you been jamming on lately?
Just like not much, but the Chapel Rowan's The Givers, like really like on my mind right now.
Yes, that one's a
And
fun
like
one.
an old Semisonic.
Oh, I love
I just
Chappelle
rewatched.
Rowan.
Absolutely. I watched 10 Things I Hate About You recently, and like
Ah,
old
I
Heath
never
Ledger.
saw that one.
yeah.
Oh really? Oh my
No,
god! It's
I know.
so
I think
good.
I've heard this.
Great film.
I think I've heard the soundtrack.
Yeah, and so like there's a scene and they go paintball gunning, like paintballing or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a
Jordan,
Semisonic
can we hear you?
song. Yay!
I hear Jordan.
She's back.
I hear Jordan.
Technical
Now I just
difficulties abound.
we were just talking about it too. That's funny. 1 second. Let me. I have to go back and get your video going again, quick. That's okay. This will be edited out of the actual, podcast.
The actual
thing.
video.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
Well,
if you
then
do
they
make
know.
it part of the conversation, then it will have to be in there. So
This stupid Spotify link that you sent instead of the one prior, and I was like, no.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
but-
All right. What Danielle, can you talk one more time quick? I just want to make sure.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
There we go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off the second you started talking.
I wasn't sure what the assignment was. That's all good.
Okay. So Danielle has been listening to Chapel Roan and
An old semisonic song.
an old semisonic song.
That's
Sorry.
like. I'm good with the two.
Thank
I'll
you.
just leave it at that.
Thank you,
With
Danielle.
the deuce.
Jordan, sorry. I guess we were on you. What have you been
That's okay. That's
jamming
okay.
on?
I have been jamming on. I say it Joe, but I know that it's Joe. His
Oh
new
yeah, the one that
album,
starts with a D. Yeah, I recently heard about them.
the Crux album. I actually am really enjoying it, and you can definitely hear his influences on like the Beatles, and I even hear like Billy Joel. Like it's actually a very good album. I really enjoy it.
Good songwritery kind of album.
Yeah, I think it was really good. And I liked he has a song that he has written about his sisters, and it's a very fun song, and I like the lyrics of it. Like basically him saying that like he wouldn't be the man he is today without his sisters, which is
Aw,
very sweet.
That's very
As someone
nice.
who has one brother and two sisters, I understand the pain
Yeah.
of being the only brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then the
don't-
other thing I've been listening to, it came out back in January, but it's a singer called Yola, and it's
Yola.
her new album called My Way. It's very different than her previous ones. Her previous ones were a little bit more country folk soul, and this one is like really like pop soul. It's very fun.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm seeing her next month, I think, in LA. She's very good.
Oh, nice,
Cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever run into the name Angelica Garcia in the LA area?
Angelica Garcia. I don't know. I'm gonna write it down.
She's kind of a climbing pop artist too. She's actually the stepdaughter of someone we've had on the show.
Oh, cool.
But she's got some really, really good music. That's part of what I've been listening to lately. Is some of her newest stuff. But yeah, you guys should definitely hook up and make a show or something.
Cool.
And is that anything else that's on your list of listenings recently, Jordan?
Honestly, the Crux album I've been obsessed with.
Yeah.
It's been on repeat.
Yeah.
You were talking about inspos for the album, and we had anywhere from Styx to
Oh, Styx made it in there.
AC/DC.
Interesting.
Styx made it in there. I love
Okay.
Styx.
Hell yeah.
And we had even like modern stuff today, like Chapel Roan is definitely an inspo. But like as I was doing the album,
Yeah.
she was becoming popular.
Yeah, she was skyrocketing. Yeah.
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 So I had a very sweet compliment from my friend the other day saying that he thought of my album as like early Chapel Roan songs, and I was like, that is the most nice thing that you could ever say.
Yeah.
to
It's
me.
really cool.
Yeah.
That is a
awesome.
very nice compliment.
Very nice compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Chapel. That album is a banger.
We might have to have you
Really?
back because we're gonna have Danielle back for when we do cover that album.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're just waiting for her like sophomore album to come out
To be
Yeah.
so we
released.
can talk about it around the same time. But
Have you guys listened to her other stuff on Spotify?
Yeah.
I
No, I
haven't
have
heard
not.
much
It's
outside of
different.
the album and the new single.
I'm
Yeah.
just I became such a big fan with the rise and fall
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
of the Midwest Princess.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You know, it's just
Makes
such
sense.
I didn't know there was much
Okay.
much more.
a such a good album.
It's definitely a different feeling. It still
Yeah.
sounds like her,
Yeah,
but you can really tell like she really came into herself with this.
yeah, because she started like right out of like high school, I think. So
Something like that.
yeah,
She's been
she's
developing.
she's been working on that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as far as me, I've been listening to.
Can I go next?
Oh yeah, you should go next because you gotta get rolling.
Yeah. So I've actually been just listening to a lot of country at work. Actually,
Yeah.
it's been really nice. Actually, even though I have been listening to a lot of Toby Keith as well, who I've not been a big fan of as a person as of late, but it's sometimes you got to separate the music from the person.
Yeah.
When it's really
The art
good
from the artist.
content, you know.
Yeah.
Know, it's tough, but it's been real nostalgic. Listening to a lot of Rascal Flatts too.
Yes,
Luke
I know the
Garth
Rascal
Brooks,
Flats.
Not the evil side.
They were the
Garth
ones
Brooks.
that had a lot of fun songs. Like, well, they had the one. What was it? Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. Is that
No,
them?
that's Big and Rich.
Damn it!
Big and
Although
Rich.
we
Okay.
did actually
I don't know
listen
them.
to most of their first 2 albums, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, just remember country's good influence on everybody sometimes. You know?
Yeah. There's some
But
there's some great country
Yeah, there's some
in
good
its
music
history.
out there.
You know.
Do you like Casey Musgraves?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I love Casey Musgraves.
I love her too.
She is
Yeah.
she is a really rare songwriting talent in a very what is becoming a cesspool of country.
Yeah.
And she differentiates herself from a lot of what's going on right now. I really
Absolutely.
like that. What is that? The trailers.
Her first
Her
album.
first album is just
Oh, it's still good.
fantastic. Actually,
Yeah.
I still consider that to be a concept album. Would like to talk.
Is it called
about that at
Trailers?
some point.
The album's
no,
called Trailers? Or?
it's out of the trailer park or something like that. I
Okay,
have to look
okay.
it up.
So it's
But
kind of a concept album about living in a trailer park.
It's kind of like
or
making it out of it. Too,
Making out-
you know?
okay.
Same
It's
trailer, different
different park.
Same
That's the
trailer,
one.
different
I
part.
love that
Great
trailer,
album.
yeah.
It's
a
a
very
great
good
album.
album.
That's a good title.
Again,
Yeah.
very strong songwriting, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
very strong execution of her strong songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And you just don't
Yeah.
see that much anymore, you know?
Yeah.
A lot
Well,
of the
it's like
songwriters are releasing real, like, light-hearted songs
Yeah.
all the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I find too with country, there's like I find with her music specifically, it's like you can tell she's someone who appreciates different genres.
Yeah.
She just is a country singer.
Yes.
So like the
Mhm.
content easily could be conveyed in a different genre easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that twanginess that makes it unique too.
Yeah.
Because lyrically, it's like
that, but that's country, though.
Yeah.
You know, she is a country artist. She is
Yeah.
just very open-minded
Yeah.
to other
Yes.
things. I've also been listening to a lot of Jelly Roll.
Ah,
'Cause
okay.
He's been kind of on the male side of that a little bit.
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Really different thinking.
Yeah.
Really coming out. He came out with a song that's called like "I'm Not All Right, But I'm Okay," and it's such.
Damn, that's like the opposite
Wow.
of My Chemical Romance.
Well, if you listen to the song though, it's really all about
Yeah.
depression, and it's
Yeah.
talking about that person that wakes up some days and just thinks, "Why go on?" But
Right. Right.
I'm not all right, but I am okay. You know, and that's
Yeah.
kind of where we're all at right now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Yeah. Thanks, John.
Stan,
We'll
catch you
keep this-
later.
Keep the conversation strong.
Yeah.
Let me know about next week.
Yeah. I'll let you know, man. Drive safe. Tell the girlfriend I said hi.
She says hi to the puppers as well.
All right. Excellent. John out. All right. Well, I've been. I'll be quick. I've just been mostly jamming on that Frankie and the Witch Fingers album that we covered last week, Data Doom. Just a really freaking amazing album, and every time I hear it, it gets better. And King Gizzard's coming out with a new album very soon, and I'm very excited about it, whatever it may be. That's it. That's it for what I've been listening to. Let's break into the album. Let's get into this album, Nights Like These. We got 10 tracks, so nice. Like, this is a good length for an album that you can listen to multiple times. I like I'm a big fan of 10 or 11 tracks. So
That's good. That's good. The reason that I picked 10 is because if I did want to make a vinyl, I had to cap it off at a certain time limit.
oh, that's
Mhm.
fair, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, which I didn't. You don't think of those things until you're getting closer to the end of an album, and you're like, "Oh, would I want a vinyl of this? And if I did, could it all fit?"
yeah,
So-
yeah. That's right. Because there's I forget how many minutes are on a vinyl. Is it like
I believe it's 20 minutes on each
20
side.
minutes each side? Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I believe this album comes in at like 36 or 36:23, something like that, right around there.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
a little bit
But
of
I
room to
agree.
spare.
10 songs. The albums that I listen to are anywhere from 8 to 11 songs. It's
Yeah,
a nice sweet spot.
I think especially, it's really good for like pop albums, albums that like, you want people to listen to like multiple times and like, dance and, have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's a good length. And what was I going to talk about? Right. Oh yeah. Today we're talking about dating. We're talking about breakups. We're talking about the rough nights when you think that things are going well and you're clicking, but then maybe you never see that person again. You don't know why. And in preparation for this podcast, I have gotten back on the dating apps to see what it's like out there.
How do you feel?
So far, I'm not depressed from it yet, so that's good. It hasn't affected my mood in a negative way.
Because you're in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like LA dating on the dating apps is far different than Wisconsin.
I would assume so. Yeah. I would assume that it's different everywhere you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in a big college town, so there's various people with doctorates degrees and bachelors and fine arts and things. So far, but no major connections yet. But we're starting. We're putting myself out there, making the chats and things. I don't love the dating apps, I'll be honest, but I'm out there. I'm out in these streets.
That's a really big thing to do. It took me years after I moved to LA to like finally go on the apps.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently deleted them because I was like, meh.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
I can't. I have to meet people in the wild. Hence like improv classes and like any class. I just sign up for everything because I'm like, I feel like it's an organic way to like meet people.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's just like easy. It's easier once you start doing it. You're like, this is like, I signed up for so many things this year by myself. I did polar dipping, I did axe throwing, I did improv. And it's just like once you start doing it, you're just like, oh, this is so easy to show up and
I love this. Yeah, that was
like
yeah.
Oops.
That was me. The fall of 23, I was like, I got a personal trainer. I started taking drum lessons. I started improv.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I was doing so many things. And you are 100% right. It's so much better to talk to someone in the real world. But here's my annoyance with this. Every time I have talked to someone in the real world and start talking to them, they're like, oh yeah, my like SO and I the other day. And I was like,
yeah.
How did I put all this effort in? Yeah. But I can be far more attracted to someone if they're funny than like just looks alone. But I find with the apps, it's like looks first and then figure out.
Yeah, right.
Like the chemistry piece, you can't tell from talking to someone online. It's like that's why like a lot, like I said about improv, it's like there's people you're there that you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna click with them, but then you do a scene together and like, oh my god, like we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And it's like the same with like sexual chemistry in general, where you're like, I don't know if I vibe with this person, but you kind of like when you know, and if you know, like you don't know until you meet them.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I hate the apps. I'll just never do it.
Yeah. I guess so. So what you're saying is I need to do more projects outside of the house.
Oh my god! Like
interesting.
Honestly,
interesting strat.
Personally, when you start doing it, you're just like, oh, this is like actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Like, for me personally, I was not one to be that social before. Like, I just had a lot of anxiety and things like that. And then I just threw myself in. And once you do it once, you're like, I didn't die. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
And it can be like a random class. Like,
yes, exactly.
I like that you went axe throwing. Like that's
that's
fun.
pretty.
Like, I
that's
want
pretty
to
rad.
do archery.
Wisconsin will have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so honestly, like, is because then you're gonna, if there's gonna be men and women there, like co-ed anything.
Yeah.
I want to join a bowling league. Where are they?
in LA. Yeah,
Oh man,
be a niche thing.
you guys are giving me a lot to think about.
But like, listen, it's I give anyone who's on the dating apps props because
Yeah.
you have no idea. My brother and his girlfriend met on Hinge and they love each other very much.
Yeah, I
very
mean,
happy
I'm
with
just
them.
trying not to appear as a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like, from what I understand, the bar is pretty low for like
I think for everyone,
for
the bar is
dudes,
very
especially
low.
like as long as you
Yeah.
believe in women's rights, like
You're
Yeah.
already,
You're already,
you've
like-
gained 10 points.
3/4 of the
yeah. So it's unfortunately
It's sad. It's really.
it's very sad.
Yeah.
Refusing to date anyone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? There's some valid points there.
I've been on some dates and I'm like, okay, well, like how do you view roles? And the guy was like, well, it's very traditional. Like you should cook and clean. And I was like, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Later. Have fun. Have fun with all that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm like,
that'll
you can
work
have the
out.
children then. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah. We live in modern times. He can have the children.
Yeah.
But is this modern time good?
Yeah.
No, I would say definitively no.
Like
no.
absolutely.
Yeah, no. There's not really any wiggle room there right now.
Yeah.
But hey, you can only go uphill from here, right? You guys want to hear the first track of this album
Yeah,
we've been
let's do
talking
it.
about? Here we got it starts off on a little bit of a downer. Let Me Down, Here we go. Oh, hold on.
I crashed into the ground without any help from you getting up. I thought you were real. I thought you were something.
The horns at the very end were my idea.
Nice.
Okay. Is because the next track has the sax, right?
No, that's the third song.
That's the third track.
but
Okay.
That would have made sense. But
Yeah.
Sorry.
so the first slow me down.
Don't mean to poke holes
I'm
in this.
already letting you down.
But yeah, that one I really like the outro of that. It's really
Yeah, it's
anyone that listens to the podcast knows that I talk a weird amount about outros. I like that. It's got the feeling of like a fade out outro, but like you're just kind of like just ending the phrase. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like lyrically. Oh, sorry.
oh no, go on.
I was just like the idea of like, I mean, I know I've been in those moments of like building yourself up after being kind of tossed aside.
Yeah.
And it's like, even just like the whole idea of like glowing up, it's like, there
Yeah.
are like things like that where you're just like, like, I don't know. I really appreciated it because I think it's like a common theme in life. So it was cool to hear it like spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like one of the things that also, like, I mean, kind of for me connects you to Kelly Clarkson besides your voice, is that you both have that, you both sing about, sad stuff in a very relatable way, and you're equally good at singing about some of the more positive things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. It's no, a lot of these songs it is really that basic. It sometimes is weird for me to say that I'm a songwriter because I'm like, oh, this is just what people feel. I'm just saying what people feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's truly in those moments that when I was writing these songs, it's how I felt. It was someone who I thought I could trust, who just like I like the last line is like, I thought you were real.
Yeah, that line really hits. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was like truly in that moment. Like I remember looking at this person and being like, oh, you're going to be nothing to me after this conversation. Like I will never ever see you in my life again.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen this person ever in my life again.
Yeah.
But it's like I thought they were going to be someone. But and I think with this chorus, sometimes I was on the fence about this song, and it's funny that I picked it as the first one, but to me it just sounded like this is the start of the album.
Yeah, yeah, like especially
Yeah.
the you have the kind of 80s kind of sound of the first 5 seconds or whatever, really
Yeah.
kind of good ramp up to the song.
Yeah. But for me, for some reason I thought the lyrics were a little bit rudimentary. Only because it is simple.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, just like you guys said, like you relate to it, and that's
Yeah.
all I'm
Yeah.
aiming for.
Yeah.
You're relating to an experience that I had, that I know you and others have had. It's
Yeah.
just very simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I will say, like one of the things that this album in general like reminds me of with like what it's about. You know, we live in a very strange time for dating. Like we've just been talking about it with the apps and everything. It's like it can feel very impersonal. It can feel alienating sometimes. You know, and also there's those things that maybe one person considered not serious and you were considering serious, and then like those you don't communicate about that, and then someone's hurt.
Yeah.
I definitely relate. Like like pre-pandemic, I had like a slew of just kind of bad dating experiences in general.
Blue girlfriends. I was gonna be like, whoo.
Well, I mean, I guess you could look at that either way. But
a slew of bad dates. Yeah.
yeah, just generally like experiences where it's like one person is feeling this way, one person's feeling this way, and a lot of just missed connections and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After putting yourself out there a couple times, it can be easy to retreat. But yeah.
I definitely suggest like signing up for a class.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're talking about this. I'm like, I'm never signing up for an app ever again.
You're right. It would
The whole
be.
episode. Have you thought about signing up?
It might be easier to sign up for a class. It might be.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
we do
seriously.
have
It's
some
fun.
improv in town. We do have some improv.
You also are in a great spot because you're in Madison, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are in a great location to sign up for any of the classes
Yeah,
that those
seriously.
colleges have. Like,
Yeah,
it's a great college town to do something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for signing up for classes.
Yeah, I think so. For me, it's really. I was pretty good about it, but then the pandemic happened, and I was like, you know what?
It screwed everyone.
I really love staying inside of my house more than I thought I did. So yeah. Whenever I come out of my house, it's like me coming out of my fucking cave now,
Funny.
But no, I will look into the improv classes though. I'll see what the times and everything are, because like I think those are the people that would get me the most, because like
That's what.
Comedy Bang Bang and Hollywood Handbook and like all that shit is like all I spend time doing in my free time, just listening to that stuff.
And I'll tell you one thing: if you have felt like a hermit in your house, which is how I felt from like 20 to 2022, even into 23, improv people will get you out of your house.
Oh,
They'll
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
"Let's go get a drink. Let's go see a
Yes.
show. Let's go do this."
Mhm.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you should
So
probably do this.
extroverted.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not that extroverted, but it like definitely forces me to be. I'm like, I guess I'll go out. Like I remember
Yeah.
I went out one night and I was like, we're going out more. We're not done yet.
We're not
doing
done?
things after this.
You're like,
how
guys,
many
it's
bars
10
do we have to go
p.m.
to?"
We must go home.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Somehow I've gotten to that point, where I'm just like, I don't know, it's getting kind of late, guys.
yeah.
They're like, the sun just went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I also have a decent amount of friends that have kids now too, so they're going to bed
Oh,
earlier
that makes
too.
sense.
So it's like
Doesn't make such a
it's like
difference.
forced me into like following their schedule,
You need to find some friends with no kids.
You're right. I need friends with no kids.
Yeah, it's true.
Friends with no kids.
Friends with
No
fuck them
kids,
kids.
no.
I have
Kids.
plenty of friends with kids. So, but it's just,
Yeah.
you have to kind of plan
Yeah,
more with
yeah.
those friends. Where with
Yeah.
improv people, like, and I know a lot of improv people who have kids,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
You're right. We're all extroverted
Yeah.
and we all want to go out.
Yeah. I finally saw my first real. I went to the UCB when I was out there and finally saw like a real live like intimate experience, and it was like, oh man,
It's
this
fun.
is the place.
This is it.
Yeah,
And then you get
yeah.
there and you're like, this is actually
Pretty
a lot
small.
smaller
It's
than I
very
thought.
very small. It's very cramped.
I could touch this person on stage.
Yeah. It was surprisingly small.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot. I think a lot of people think it's a really. They did on their Sunset, the one that they had to close. That one was very big. That felt like
Right.
a very big venue.
Mhm.
But the one at UCB Franklin is a very intimate space.
Yeah.
So,
That was fun. I really am just wanting to go back to LA every time I think about improv. This next track we got for you guys, this one was your second single? Third single? Third single.
Yeah.
Okay. And this one has an accompanying music video, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is Not Your Dream Girl.
And I'm trying, but I'm too shy to make the first move. Guess I don't mind. Just friends for the rest of our time. All I know is that I'll never be your dream.
Actually, fun fact, I won't say who this is written about, but the inspo for this song, I actually was coming home from seeing a show at UCB, and
Oh wow.
someone I knew
Speak
who
of the
was in
devil.
I knew a lot of people in the shows,
Yeah.
in the show, and it was one particular person who inspired this song. But then I also started watching 16 Candles, and so the inspo of the song was about this person.
That's very
and then
cool.
also what if these John Hughes movies didn't have a happy ending, or
Yeah.
I love that.
Jake Ryan didn't show up at the end of 16 Candles, and Samantha Baker had to figure something else out.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's
That
the concept of this song.
that really like makes sense with like the production of the song. Like it really like
Yes.
when you
it
said
definitely
it's
has that
16
80s
Candles, I was
vibe,
like, yeah, absolutely. That kind of longing but like fun,
Yes.
ness. I don't know.
I will give you a fun fact.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone could maybe play it somewhere. It's the same chords as the song from 16 Candles by the Thompson twins. They're like, if you were
Ah.
here, I could
Yeah.
deceive you. So it's actually the same chords. I just wrote a whole new melody.
Ah.
So that's why it also feels even
Yeah.
more.
familiar and yeah.
Yeah. That's a really cool way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I like this. I was gonna say I wrote down on this track when the line "too shy to make the first move." I wrote down "Me too, girl, me too."
Yeah. This is definitely one of my favorite choruses I've ever wrote. Because
Yeah.
again, it's I was just writing exactly how I felt,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm way too shy to make the first move. So I guess we're just gonna be friends. Like it's not
Mhm.
this is not gonna happen. If you're not
Yeah.
making a move, I am sure not making a move.
Yeah, I've been at that
So-
standstill a couple times.
Mhm.
Standoff or whatever you want to call it.
You're just standing by each other's cars, and you're like, okay.
It's just kind of like staring big-eyed at each other, like,
slowly walking away.
Not breaking eye contact.
Yeah.
yep. We've all been there. Yeah, I'm. That's one thing that I am actually really happy about, as opposed to like dating when I was younger. A lot more girls will ask you out now, which I appreciate.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that you're totally into that.
Yeah.
I have found I have the worst luck if I ask someone out, and I don't understand. And
There's like
You see, maybe we have the same reasoning then, because I feel that's pretty much the same. That's how I feel.
I'm like, oh, I'm telling you I like you. I'm
Yeah.
showing that I like
Yeah.
you, and you are just not getting it. I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
relatable.
too many people. Yeah, I've had too many people be like, "You're really intimidating," and I'm like, Oh.
I've heard that too.
Oh,
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks big time, but yeah.
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 I know I'm a
I
lot
guess
of
it's
energy.
probably
I'm an
more-
Aries. I know I'm a lot of energy.
Oh, you're an
but
Aries.
I'm an
Okay.
Aries.
Yeah.
I'm right at the end.
Yeah.
Um,
The medium flame, I think of as the with the Aries.
you think of the medium flame?
Because the high flame is Leo. Let's be honest.
Oh,
it's
okay.
got
Maybe,
it's
yeah.
Leo.
Yeah, I feel like Leo
Yeah.
is definitely
Yeah,
is
yeah.
above Aries, but
Yeah.
I'm not a
Aries has got some heat though.
Aries has some
Absolutely.
heat,
Yeah.
but I have
Wand
calculated
energy.
heat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I say it,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. I'm Sagittarius, which is a low kind of flame, but the flame is still there.
You're just like simmer.
Simmering,
Yeah. And then I can get really, really mad about something if I need to.
It's like that bow and arrow kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You could take a
the
class.
The
You
force.
could take a
Yes.
class.
Yeah, I mean, I am. Yeah, I'm almost
In the
destined
stars
for
already.
the bow and arrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's dating has totally changed on like
Yeah.
who can make the first
Yeah.
move or not. And
Yeah.
I've heard it from all different couples, like, oh, they made the first move. Oh no, they made the first move.
hmm
And I think it just comes down to however it works. If you're putting
Yeah.
in the effort to be with someone and hang
Yeah.
out with someone, you clearly like them.
Yeah.
It's super attractive when someone is making that effort. But if
Yeah.
I'm making all the effort, no. I'm
Yeah,
not,
no,
I'm not
no,
being
that's-
turned on anymore.
Yeah,
Now I'm
yeah.
now I'm done.
Yeah.
So-
Got to be a
Yeah.
two-way street no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those are yeah. We're gonna have more of these thoughts as we go on. I think just this is like a night of
It's a concept
like
album.
of digging in on our dates.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of nights, this is nights like these.
Covers me in just seconds. Please set me free. It's nights like these that tear me apart. Such a fragile heart beating again.
Oh, I had to get some of that sexy sax.
So
Yeah.
good.
And who did you say that was played by?
That was played by Brian or Ninja Brian from the Ninja Sex Party. But his sax stage name is Très Magnifique.
Très Magnifique.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe he is touring currently with Ninja Sex Party, and I think he's doing some Très Magnifique, but he's very cool. If you Ninja Sex Party, you also might know them if you're big YouTube fans. The show Game Grumps.
Really?
Dan from Game Grumps is the lead singer of Ninja Sex Party.
Then my ex definitely knows about Ninja Sex Party.
Cool. Ninja Sex Party is a very fun band. They have a ton of like funny songs. They also come from the UCB world. And yeah, so Brian or
Oh,
Ninja
are Game
Brian-
Grumps from the UCB world?
I don't know about Aaron, but
Okay.
Dan for sure. He did
Okay.
UCB New York, and
Okay.
Brian, I believe, did New York City too.
Okay.
And then they've done stuff out in LA. They're both based in LA now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game Grumps, Dan from Game Grumps is the lead singer, and then so Brian, aka Très Magnifique, did the saxophone, and
Yeah.
all improvised, all so incredibly
Yeah.
impressive. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah. Really, really
fits
fun
so
chorus.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It
just like
does.
all I can picture is like reminds me of the movie Tron. Like it's very it
Yeah.
has like this neon kind of like
Yeah.
vibe to it, which is really cool. And I
Yeah.
think the lyric
Vaporwave.
is
Yeah.
yeah. Is this a circle I'm repeating? I think that's the lyric. I tried googling your lyrics too, or is it
Okay.
cycle or yeah? So it's just like this idea of like
I should have
you know,
forwarded
like-
those to Danielle.
That's okay.
Oh, did you? That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just there's like I tried to jot some down here and there, but I was like I liked that line in particular, but it was just a really cool vibe to the song. So
It is a cool vibe. I'm also trying to pull up my own lyrics.
I know when I said it, you were like, you looked like you had no idea what I was talking about.
It's like, did I write that? Is that what I said?
Did I say that? Yeah. It's It's am I losing control? Do I fight the feeling? This vicious circle I'm repeating.
Yes.
What do you want? So I understand. Otherwise, I'll start disappearing. Let me tell you something. Someone who wrote this stuff. I wrote this when I was 18. I can tell you this is about no one. I was not dating anyone at 18. I don't know what was happening in my life that brought on this song.
Yeah.
But it's all about like being afraid to start something
Yeah.
new. What I can tell you is that I probably wrote this around this time. That's when I did start dating. I like just entered college.
Okay.
I was like doing new stuff. But again, I wrote some, to give myself credit, I wrote some really great lyrics for the song.
Yeah.
And it's super fun. But I truly cannot remember what the inspo was. I just wrote it. I just wrote it. So
you were just like
Wow.
channeling it. It
Yeah.
wasn't
I was
even you know what I mean?
just channeling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was the song which I'm sure I said this in the beginning of this podcast that it was originally sung very slow with like a sway guitar, and then it was my producer who like sped it up, and how it has its final form is just impeccable to me. And this one also has a music video.
Is this the one that's getting hella views?
No, this is the one that's getting okay views.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
We're over 20K. Not your dream girl.
Hey, you're in the case. You're in the case.
I'm in the case.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's very cool. I'm actually shocked that this, to be a little egotistical, I'm a little surprised that it doesn't have more views because it's such a fun video. I'm going through different 80s nightmare scenarios.
I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's people are not watching it probably because of my acting. I don't think I could have done better.
Well, but you're a singer, right?
I give so many people who are in horror movies credit because that is hard to do. Trying to work with an actor and be like, you have to be scared of them. You are terrified. And you're like, but I like you. You're really funny and nice. Why would I be terrified of you?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I would even fare in that kind of situation. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
Like,
You will see it. You will laugh when you see my performance because they're like, she was just goofing around.
Well, yeah, I mean, but sometimes goofing around can come through in a fun way.
Yeah. Especially if it's supposed to be campy or like.
Yeah, it's supposed to be campy, very fun. There's a part where like I randomly wake up in a hospital and there's like a clown, and we reference like it around then, and I'm like, no, I'm not messing with you, and I like pretend to like go to the next nightmare.
Yeah.
So,
oh man. But I really enjoy this one. It's very cinematic. I wrote down Clarkson belting, like belting music, belting vocals like Kelly Clarkson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a German term at first.
This is a term that I'm trying to coin. Clarkson belting.
It's the Clarkson hole off.
Yes. This is the Clarkson belt. Yeah. And also, again, I mentioned Utada Hikaru earlier. This kind of reminds me of, well, not maybe her stuff, but earlier like J-pop stuff. There was like the thing called city pop.
City pop, okay.
Yeah. That's a genre. You'll have a fun time with that playlist if you find that on Spotify. Like it's like just really like great 80s pop music, but Japanese. You know?
Oh hell yeah! Totally into it already.
Yeah. This one really gives me some of those vibes. And then then we get to this next track has a really interesting like soundscape. This is Flood Season, which is like it's I like where it is on the track listing because it kind of it's kind of where you want to slow down in an album, before you pick back up again. So here's a bit of that. Yeah. The production's really expansive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I wrote down, like, I wrote a bunch of notes for everything, but I was like, in this one, I was like, sexual innuendo, question mark. 'Cause it felt very, very sultry, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah.
cool. And the lyric, your expression was my espresso. I could drink you all day, all night. And I was like, ooh, that's a cool line.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
This one's saucy.
Because it was
It
like,
is-
even like the idea of it being espresso is like, you kind of like, it's not like you mellow me out. It's like you kind of invigorate me. And like the idea of like the lightning in the eyes and just like, it was really cool. Like kind
Huh.
of visual kind of imagery.
Is that what Sabrina Carpenter means in that song?
Which one?
I don't know.
The one.
I will tell you, I wrote Flood Season way before Espresso came
Well,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that one as much, but I know she sings about espresso and people talked
Yeah,
about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know in that context of Espresso.
I think I mostly know about that song because of Lily Sullivan, honestly. I think she like made an Instagram post where she like was singing along with it while she was drinking like martini espressos or something. Anyway, got stuck in my head.
Oh,
Another one of those earworms.
another earworm.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's Flood Season is like I mentioned on the live before. It's a song that this was the first time I put a poem to music, so I did
Right.
the reverse of
Yeah.
how I
Yeah.
songwrite.
yeah,
I wrote this back in college for a prompt, and you are correct. It's a sexual innuendo. It's actually about, to be very graphic, it's actually about masturbation and
Oh.
wishing that someone was
self-love.
there. Yeah, self-love, or
Oh,
like
there you
thinking
go,
about the
okay.
person who turns you on, but they're not
Yeah.
there. They're far
Interesting.
away. It's one of my favorite songs just because of the doo doo. I thought my producer did an amazing job
Yeah,
with how everything sounds, and we added in the water elements. You can hear the drops
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah. It has that feel.
yeah,
Yeah, and then also grabbing the voice in the beginning. I wanted it to have like a little bit of humor of like of him basically being like, well, like we need wet vacs to clean this up. It's to me, it's so funny every time I hear it because I know what the song is about. It just adds to that element. But
yeah.
no, it's one of my favorite songs, and I loved the poem in college. My professor loved the poem, and I was like, this poem is way too good not to have a song paired with it.
Have you guys ever heard the song "Super Soaker"?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah,
was
it's
where
like
my
a
mind
it's
went,
like a
like,
dance.
walk or
It's like a
something.
kind of dance housey kind of like electronic song, and it's like really like fun, like da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, ah. And it's like and then like you don't hear the lyrics really, like you don't hear the lyrics because it's like kind of they're singing it in like a way that like it's mostly just kind of sounds.
Yeah.
And like I like favorited it. I put it on my like liked playlist and stuff. And like one day I was like really listening to it. I'm like, whoa, this song is filthy. Like I was just like, holy shit! All of a sudden, like it all hit me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I just loved the sound of it. I'm like, oh yeah, this song fucking bops. You know.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's how I want Flood Season to sound. I want people just to be like, oh, this like sounds cool. And like we made it sound as if like you were rocking and like it felt like you were on a wave or something.
Yeah, it has that
And-
feeling.
Yeah, like with a tide coming in and out, kind of.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
cool to think about like from a sound mixing kind of mindset of like how one would goes about those kinds of like conceptualizing that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's from like my end of things. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting to think about.
Yeah. It's very interesting to go to your producer and be like, so this song is about masturbation. How do we get that across?
How do we
But,
get
like,
that across?
in a,
Yeah,
in a
interesting question.
in a sane, appropriate way.
Yeah.
And-
It was just funny because like I started listening to this, I'm like, this has a like it's not like once you listen to it and like pay attention, you're like, this is naughty. This is very naughty.
Every good
It's like
pop
Flood
album needs
Season,
needs at least one naughty track, you know?
It does. I mean, like
Yeah,
even take
yeah.
Christina Aguilera's first album.
Yeah. Oh,
And
right.
So many of her songs have innuendos, and you
Didn't
don't
she
realize it
like
as a
not
kid.
even like want to do that song at first?
I'm a genie in a bottle. You got to rub me the right way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
who? Of course, some
Yeah.
band wrote this and was like, "You're
Yeah.
gonna I'm pretty sure she didn't want to sing some of the songs, but I think she was also far more comfortable with her sexuality versus like
Absolutely.
Britney or other people.
Oh
She
yeah,
was,
yeah,
like,
yeah. She
demonized
was.
in the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like Britney was like, it didn't matter what she was doing. It was like they had to like chastise her. And Christina, it just like rolled off her easier, or they didn't hyper fixate on her as much.
Yeah, yeah. I think Britney suffered from that, like, kind of child star problem, where she just didn't get enough, like, just her time or whatever in her younger years.
Which is, it's so wild to like think of Britney, because Britney, Christina, Justin, JC, like they were all on that, like the Mickey Mouse Club
right.
show.
Yeah.
So, like they all started around the same time.
Yeah.
So, and like to see kind of their outcomes now,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like poor Britney. I'm like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
But that's all paparazzi in the early 2000s. That's really what.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like paparazzi in the early 2000s is like what internet comments are now. Like just the worst.
That's a good
the worst human beings saying the worst shit, making life bad for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's also here's also what I will say, and I've had this conversation multiple times with my producer. It's one thing to be 20 years old and making an album.
Yeah.
It is another to be in your early 30s making an album when like you know yourself, you know these songs, you know what these songs are about, and it's a totally different mindset.
Yeah.
Versus when you're younger and you haven't had certain experiences.
Yeah.
Right.
Same with like if someone did an album but they were 40 or 50 or 60, whichever.
Yeah.
Like it's so different.
I feel too is like I feel like I'm at a point in just history where just because no one did it before doesn't mean I can't be the first.
Yeah.
Where before is like if you didn't make it by the time you're 22, you're dead in the water, especially if you're a woman. And nowadays it's like, who the fuck is making that narrative? We don't have to subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You don't know. Like you anyone can take off if you really think about it. I don't think there's like I think because of the nature of how like media comes across nowadays and how we consume like music and things like that, there's like this like I feel like it opens opportunity in a different way than what we used to have. So
I agree.
Yeah. Like that's actually something we kind of were talking about in the last week's episode, the fact that like there is all of this technology that it does make it better in a lot of regards, but is being utilized in certain negative ways as well that kind of balances it, or not balance. I don't want to say balances because we shouldn't have to deal with that bullshit, but I don't know what I'm saying. But
evens the playing field, is that what you mean?
Sure.
No.
Yeah. No,
I'm just sorry. I just wasn't sure.
I appreciate you trying to make my close the loop on my thought.
Have you ever thought of taking a class?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I know that there's an improv class in town, so just have to go check it out. Yeah. Okay. Actually, that just reminded me of something. I was starting to hang out with improv people before the pandemic started.
Oh.
Yeah, I was starting to attempt that.
You started, and then COVID,
and then
just like everyone else, fucked it over for everyone.
Yeah. I like hung out with those improv people once, like, and then I was like,
so close.
I was this close. Yeah.
It's like a movie. It's like a Hallmark movie. You're just gonna move back to that town and meet those people again. And take
exactly.
off.
I just got to go to the improv club, and they'll probably be the same people standing there.
A single guy who works too hard, who just wants to take improv classes.
You need the Reba wig if you're gonna like.
Hell yes. Hell yes. I love Reba.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh man. All right. This next, I don't have a transition to this track, but this next track we got for you guys is "Stay with Me." Oh, and my phone decided to shut off.
It doesn't
just
want to stay
then.
with you.
There we go.
Surprised that you don't run away, and instead you say to me, so baby, stay with me, not just tonight but tomorrow too, and baby,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's nice.
I want to know you. Tell me everything in your head. And it was just like that idea of like getting like you meet someone, you click, and you're like, I want to know everything. I want to know all of you. So I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cuz yeah, it's like your brain's moving, or your brain's moving faster than your mouth can, it's like, because there's only so much you can get out of one
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if people are like more on the quiet side, and then like
Yeah.
maybe the more of the talker
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
in their head thinking like, man, wish I know like what's going on in there. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again,
and was this
very
a person? Was
honest.
that a? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say again, it's very honest. I think, yeah. What I love about
Yeah.
this mostly is just how relatable the album is. Honestly, it's just
Yeah,
it's a very
absolutely.
relatable pop album experience.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's been the beauty and the joy of this album, is hearing people being like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
listened to this song and I totally get what you were saying."
Yeah. Well, because like
Yeah.
everyone's like, I mean, it's not like everyone's gone all brat summer, but like, you know what I mean? Like there is that like irony and like detached like irony or whatever with that that approach to pop music.
Yeah.
And you're bringing the kind of other side of that coin, which is the kind of more genuine like personal stuff. That's like there's not a big like a mask over what you're doing necessarily.
Yeah, I think just as the person I am, I'm very forward and honest, and
Mhm.
if I am putting a mask on, it's almost never.
Yeah.
My friends already know, if I don't like you as a person, I don't talk to you. I will like leave
Yeah.
the room if I don't like you.
Yeah.
And no, it's just if I'm such an open book.
Yeah.
And I try my best to say exactly how I feel. But there are times,
Same.
like a lot of like a good chunk of people in this album, I didn't have those resolutions with.
Yes.
So these songs are those resolutions. I didn't get a
Right.
chance to like sit down and talk with these people
Yeah.
to be like, what the fuck happened? Why did
Yeah.
this go so sour? Or like, what happened? What did I do? What did you do? Why
Mhm.
did you just ghost me? And with
Yeah.
Stay With Me, I remember writing Stay With Me. I was like thinking about someone I maybe had a crush on, and it's those early days. And this song, out of all of my songs, was truly improvised. It was literally written within like 5 minutes. I have the
Wow.
original recording,
Yeah.
and the lyrics are like to a T.
Yeah.
And it truly was just me being like thinking, what would I be saying to someone
Yeah.
that I like really liked or wanted to continue to get to know,
Oh, okay.
and hoping what that person would say back to me. So like in
Yeah.
this ebb and flow of this album so far,
Yeah.
you have me being like let down by someone, and then like, okay, like I'm stepping back out into that world, and then now we're here in the album where it's like, oh, like I have met someone, and it's like I want to stay with you. I want to, I think one of the lines is like, explore you like a new world, right? Is that like
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's it just was me. I remember writing this and like sitting
Yeah.
on my bed and being like, and singing it, and really just being like, I want someone to be like, stay with me.
Yeah.
And like, don't go. You don't have to leave at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you do you have like an acoustic at home that you play with, or do you have like a keyboard? Is there something that you kind of your go-to kind of writing buddy?
My go-to is my acoustic guitar.
Nice.
A lot of these songs are actually written on my dad's acoustic guitar, which is like a Yamaha, and I love that guitar, but that's
Yeah.
currently with him in North Carolina.
Okay.
And stays there when I go and visit, and I can play it there. But
What kind do you have?
I have a Fender acoustic. I would love
Is it like a curved back one or a flat one? Flat back kind of.
it's a flat back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I would
the curved
love
ones,
to-
I can never get a hold on the curved ones, you know?
Well, here's the other thing. I apparently have very girly, dainty hands. It's hard for me to play some chords. So I play very basic chords, and then my producer helps me out with if we change the key. I'm like, well, I can't play that chord now on the guitar. How am I supposed to play that? So
Yeah.
it's I play very basic chords, and I just kind of follow
Yeah.
the some theory to it, but
Yeah.
I have a Fender acoustic, and I have another acoustic in my closet somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't get played enough, but I also would like to invest in like a really solid, great acoustic guitar. Not that my Fender isn't great, but like I loved the sound of my dad's Yamaha, but they're pretty pricey. So
Yeah.
So one day.
Yeah. Nice. One day. Because I was gonna say, like, I with this song, I was like, I feel like, you know, you said like you did write it pretty fast, and I can kind of feel that vibe with the track. It does feel like a constant, you know, flow. I've only also written one song in that way. Guess Apollo's curious about what's going on outside. But I've only ever written one song in like that short amount of time too, and it was like just similar vibes, actually, similar longing for someone that I don't know if they like me, and it just, you know, all spilled out, you know.
And my writing process is definitely different than other songwriters. I've talked to other songwriters, and they're like, "Oh, it took me like weeks to write this song," and I'm like, "Weeks?
Sometimes it takes weeks."
What were you doing? Like, what were you doing? I feel like I have so much emotions and like so many words I need to get out that, like, I've had a few songs from here and there that it'll take me like a couple days.
Yeah.
But the majority of these songs on this album, they were written so quick, somewhere between 5 minutes and an hour. And it just was like exactly how I was feeling. I needed to get it across. I needed to play it.
Yeah.
And then, so I have like all these rough tracks of these songs that I've written over the past.
So you were really feeling these songs when you were as you were putting them together. Yeah.
Yes, which is why sometimes so many people ask me like, when are you performing? When are you performing? They're such vulnerable songs to me that it's like, oh, I have to perform now? I have to perform these songs? What do you mean? Like, I just imagine myself in my room playing these songs.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool though, because like you said, the writing process was really quick. I find the best songs tend to be that way anyway.
Yeah.
That it's like you're in a flow state almost, or you're like, it's just, you can tell you're so in your feels that it's just like coming out, and it's being like transcribed in real time kind of thing. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have not been able to reach that state in a good 10 years or so.
You mean feeling emotions?
Well, no, it's been a while since I felt emotions, real emotions.
Therapy?
What? Therapy?
Yeah, there's this new class called therapy.
Therapy. Okay. Yeah. No, but I was trying to, like, I wasn't like, you know, very serious about songwriting, but like I was in a pop punk band, and after that, for like a handful of years, I would write a few songs here and there, you know. But nowadays I just play the songs I know, and it's just kind of therapy, you know.
Yeah.
But I love hearing about all these like details. Like it's
I know you wouldn't.
Really nice.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It is fun. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
I think I've always wanted to do this. Before the album came out, I had this kind of dream of having like a short series podcast where I would go over each song and like how it came to be, what it was written about. But this is like exactly what I wanted to like talk to someone about. It's so nice.
You know, you could take this episode and chop it into like 10 pieces and just release it as a miniseries. Yeah.
It's true. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Cool, like,
that'd be tight.
All your content, Brad.
Yeah. Don't ever name who I am. Just take the intro out and don't ever name who I am. Just it's like the narrator.
Put like a logo over.
Cover my face too. You know.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna listen to one more track and then we're gonna do a quick break. This next track is the first start of the second half of the album. Is this also the first part of like side B, like on the record, or would be?
For Means, yeah.
Means, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So split right down the middle. Yeah. Well, here is Means.
Sitting next to me on the couch. It took everything for you to come by, and you don't even realize you don't know how much it means to me. It can't be easy.
This is my Kelly Clarkson Since You've
Yes.
Been Gone song.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. This one's got some drive to it. You know, I was saying this one is the one. You know, probably the rockiest. You know, of the tracks.
Very angsty.
Got that angst.
Yeah.
And I love the fuzzy guitars. I said in my notebook here, what is this friggin' Weezer? These guitars, man. Yeah. This is
I love Weezer.
Yeah.
I liked it though, like especially like I said to you earlier, like that you didn't stick to one genre, and I like that about the album too, where it was like I didn't know what the next song was gonna feel like, but I feel like that makes like if I were a songwriter, I feel like I would lean into that too, where it's like, why do I have to pigeonhole myself into one thing?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it, like going through it, because I was like, oh, it's like a, where's the next turn gonna lead me kind of thing. So
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought this up because we talked about this right before we hopped on the podcast, and I was waiting to say this. But my motive for having an album like this is, one, yes, it's correlated to who I'm talking about and it's inspired by that.
Yeah.
But in college, my thesis was proving, or like trying to prove, that an artist could do multiple genres and still be successful with it. So I wanted to have an album that I could have an indie track, I could have a synth 80s track, I could have a rock track, I could have like a slow folk track. And I had many professors be like, nope, you're never going to be successful. Nope, that sounds crazy. And I'd have to give examples.
What?
Like, yeah, you had Blondie.
So say, I mean, there are examples. Your professors are
plenty of examples. I don't know what my professors were thinking. I mean, I even had a professor who he did not like me.
It's like, this is preposterous.
For some reason, did not think I could sing opera. And at my senior thesis or my senior capstone show, I sang 2 pieces in opera, and he literally came up to me after and he's like, I apologize, I didn't realize you could sing that way. And I was like, why are we testing me? I know what I'm doing. Why are we doing this? But to have him come up to me afterwards and say that, I was like, holy crap. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's.
Well, yeah, because I should mention, Danielle, she has a BA in vocal performance.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
I was on EI recently. I was like let go of my job, and I live in a university. Oh, it's all good. I'm not saying it like that. I just mean I had free time.
Well, good for you.
And yeah, exactly. And then so Dalhousie has a music program, so I would go there like 3 times a week, and they would do like performances. They would do like singing, piano, like wind instruments, like things like that. I would just sit there and be like in awe of these people who are just so profoundly good. So it's just like cool that was your world, because I was like, I spent like the last several months just like watching these people, and it's just like incredible to see someone still doing it. You know what I mean? Because there's people, like, I could hear them talking, they're like, oh, I'm gonna take an admin like course after this, and you know, it's like, and there's some that, you know, to continue on with it is like incredible, and I hope more and more success is thrown your way. So
thank you. I that's very nice of you to say. It's no, I remember getting my degree and being like, oh no, was this a bad idea? Did I do something wrong? And I remember my focus was opera in college, because I have a 3 to 4 octave range, which is like crazy weird. And
that's wild.
It is wild, and I didn't learn until college. And so it's weird. It's weird. It's like Whitney, Mariah Carey level, but like I don't think I can hit their notes as high, but I can go like really low, and like I can go all over the place. No,
that
exactly.
work,
I would
man?
have vocal teachers in middle school and high school who were like, I can't teach you. And I was like, oh my God, am I that bad? Like, why can't you teach me? And it wasn't until my vocal coach in college who was like, no, they can't teach you because your range is crazy. They don't even know where to start
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that makes sense.
oh, that
Would you,
makes
like-
more
Yeah,
sense.
they gotta put you
What
in a
about Queen? Like, can you do
box.
Queen songs really well? Like, I'm trying to figure. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah,
Like,
that Freddie Mercury is very fun for me to do.
yeah.
I love
That would
Freddie.
be
He must
cool.
have had a
Love to see you
similar
cover.
situation or something.
I'm pretty
He
sure
did.
Yeah.
He did
his
have a wide vocal
Yeah.
range. That's
it's
for
crazy.
sure.
And the same with oh my God, you guys are both gonna beat me. Who's the lead singer of Journey?
I don't think I've ever known
I
the
mean, they-
I think,
name
well, he
of the lead
died and they
singer.
replaced him.
Did he die? I just thought he got replaced.
Oh, maybe he didn't die. Maybe they just replaced him. I don't know.
For me,
Either way,
for
he
me,
also
Journey
has
is a
a-
unit. So
Yes, Journey is a unit.
uh-huh.
But he also has a fun range.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because they had to do auditions to replace him.
Yeah, is
They
that
had
like
to,
a
get a very specific person to do
Yeah.
it?
Is
And
that like
they found some guy like on YouTube
Yeah.
who was
YouTube,
literally
yeah.
recreating his voice, and I was like,
Yeah,
holy
exactly.
cow.
is that
but-
like a shape of the vocal cords or something? Is there like an explanation for that, or do they?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I mean, think about
Yeah.
there-
How do
there are
I
a lot
alter
of-
my vocal cords to hit all these octaves?
It's a lot of training, and I
Yeah.
don't know what the special sauce is. I just
Okay.
know that
Genetics. Maybe.
Yeah.
it maybe is genetics. I really can't tell you. I don't know why I was given this unique
Yeah.
gift. I'm trying my best to use it all the time.
Well, yeah, vocals
Um,
are especially a very like you said, unique thing to like to each person. Like you never know how if like every way of singing has been done because someone is going to come around that has their own way of doing it.
Yeah. And I find one of the things I had to like submit kind of information about me for PR for magazines to interview me.
Yeah.
And I remember my producer at one point, she was like, you're not some of like the singers that are around lately. They're very breathy and very like up here, and they sing like really high and really delicate. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck no, this is me. Like
Yes.
you are getting my full voice.
Give me that baritone.
And- yeah, baritone. Yeah.
Well, it's even
And-
like Taylor Swift. I was like when I was watching her perform,
Yeah.
like her. I can't remember the Eras tour.
Yeah.
She's singing everything on a lower register. Like she's singing in an alt. She's not.
Oh,
singing
yeah,
notes
yeah,
on
yeah.
the
You're getting
album.
older. So
Yeah.
as you get older,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember I believe it was the song that we'll talk about in the next half, CMF, where I actually told my producer, I was like, we can't raise it because I'm only going to get older, and if we were to raise it, I don't even know if I could hit these notes in 5 or 10 years. So let's just
Yeah.
keep it here. I know
That's a
I'm
good point.
solid
Yeah, yeah.
here,
Dude.
and I'll be okay.
That's so fucking smart.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy
That's
to
like-
think about though? Like I can
It's
hit
true,
it
yeah,
higher.
yeah.
That's
Makes sense.
insane
Me being
forethought,
like,
Jordan.
no,
That's so
mm,
smart.
It is.
You're blowing my mind.
Said
to
it,
think
though,
of that.
too,
Yeah,
like,
I went to
makes-
college for this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like you went to
but
college
it
for this.
helps, like, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm not surprised if you
Yeah.
have someone who's been performing for 10 plus
Yeah.
years. Everything's gonna be lower, and on top of that, it's also not a bad thing because if you have an audience that grows with you, their register is
That's a
lower
good point.
also.
Yeah.
So if they're like,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
like still match, be like, actually, you probably just went
You're
down a couple.
Training
keys.
yourself right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Big
There
time.
are definitely some singers that later in the career are kicking themselves for
Oh yeah.
how far they went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense because at that moment, you want it
Yeah.
to be crazy and cool.
Yeah. You
Right.
don't give a shit. You're young. You're getting
Yeah.
out there. And
Yeah.
then you age and your body
Yeah, and it's-
changes and yeah.
Yep. And it's like take Miss Mariah Carey,
Mm.
who I don't know if you guys are like a big fan of her. I'm indifferent sometimes of her. I think she has a crazy vocal range.
Right.
But
Yeah.
as
Yeah. Yeah.
someone who at her age is still performing and still trying to hit that note, I don't know if she can hit that note at the moment. She probably could with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of practice beforehand. But I also wouldn't be surprised if she's like, hey, I'm just going to use the backing track. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
going to sing with it.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah, especially like, pop performances these days kind of remind me of like I don't know, hair metal in the 80s where it's just like there's these giant like events and they're like running all over the stage and you know, they got to be like out of breath at all times as well as trying to sing. And then you get people on the internet being like, "Oh, they're not actually singing," and like, you know,
You're like, oh, they're lip
you get up
syncing.
there and
Yeah,
do that.
no,
yeah, it's like
shit,
you fucking do
they
it,
can't
dude.
breathe.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that, like the clips of Miley Cyrus who's singing on the treadmill. I was like, yeah, of course, her performances
Yeah.
are like crazy all the time.
Yeah, that's
There's
like
no other way that you can train. You'd have
Yeah.
to like run on the treadmill and sing.
Yeah. That's pretty much like the like standard now for like pop girls going on tour is like you have to be able to run and sing
Cardio,
at the same time.
Yeah.
Which
Imagine
like
me.
yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know, maybe you can be like one of the like the pop star that has like more chill shows, you know?
Just the sitting pop star, just sitting on everything.
Yeah. Like I'm not trying to run from here to here to here to there. Like
Maybe skipping.
yeah,
Skip.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been a fun first half. We got 4 more tracks for you guys after this quick break, and yeah, when we come back, we have what's the one that's coming up next?
After means, why don't do favors?
Yes, this is okay. This
I
is
love that one.
this is the one that got stuck in my head the most. So I'm looking forward to this one, and yeah, we will see you guys after this little break. Welcome back, everybody, to the Album Concept Hour. We're here to finish up this album. Came out this year. This is a hot, fresh, new album. Nights Like These. Jordan Duffy is here with us, and we have Danielle here as our co-host. Welcome back, everybody.
Thanks.
And so not throwing any shade at the earlier part of the album, but definitely side B though. Like,
You like side B more?
I think I'm more of a side B guy. I really enjoy side A is great, but like it was, I think, the tail end of the album where I was like really like, I don't know, it just really hit me.
I think they both have like hold up.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a very different vibe for each, so I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. But
Yeah,
I
like,
appreciated both sides, but
yeah, I like.
Huge compliment.
Yeah, I like
because
the.
I find that when you listen to an album, you're like, oh, this is great, and then by the second half, you're like, all right, I'm tired, I'm done.
Yeah, so that's something that we experienced listening to. I mean, sorry for any the Chicks fans out there, but Taking the Long Way.
Okay,
Like, I did feel like it was maybe a little bit
solid.
long, you know?
Yeah. I love the Chicks so much.
Yeah, and it is a great album, but it was I think just the time period, like if you were making like a song that was on the radio, you had to have,
right at the top.
Yeah,
and
you had to
then
have an extra
the second
chorus.
half, it's like slowing down.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was one where it's like I felt the kind of slow down like the momentum shift, But yeah, this one though.
No, mine cranks right back up.
Yeah, because it's like 10 tracks. That one was just, I think it was just a slightly too long of an album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like shooting for that. That's a nice thing about the rise in vinyl being popular. I think is exactly what you did, which is like, this needs to fit on a vinyl at least.
Yeah.
And I think that in that time when that was the case, when everyone did that, it forced you to really, put some thought into what you chose.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I support vinyl length albums. This next track we got for you is now this is the one that really had me worrying about Engineer Jordan. Okay, this one was like, who hurt Engineer Jordan, and whose house we need to show up at.
That's been everyone's response when they
Who
hear this song.
hurt Engineer Jordan?
Hurt you. And I was like, oh God, okay, I maybe hit the nail too hard on this.
Yeah. We need names. We need a list. We're gonna get justice. But no, here's a little bit of why I don't do favors. Oh yeah.
And that was all over the place.
I loved that ending too.
Yeah, that was really cool. There was like one thing that I can't remember where it is in the lyrics of that song, but I wrote it down. It's like you refer to like collectively an us, and I'm like, who is the us that you're referring to?
That is a good question. So this person in question, they are a very famous person, so I will not say who they are.
Okay.
I'm giving myself an NDA. It was a specific event.
Yeah.
That was a collective whole that they screwed over. And I heard what they had done to those people and myself. So having my own experience, hearing what happened to them.
That makes sense.
And this is what came out of.
So this is you going Mama Bear for your friends. So
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that people are kind of going Mama Bear for you after hearing the song,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can give you one little detail. This person who I was close with because of this event blocked me on Instagram.
Oh.
I've never been blocked before. Not that I know of.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Was it after the album came out or
No,
Okay.
no, I remember we were in the middle of working on this album. This event happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "This song's going on the album." My producer was like, "Okay, let's
Yeah.
do this." And like I mentioned in the live, like I wrote this song within 12 hours of what happened.
Yeah.
I was so angry, and I
Yeah.
went to my producer and I was like, "It needs to sound like Charlie XCX. This is a like
Mm-hmm.
fuck you anthem."
Mhm.
And it's specifically why I don't do favors is tagged because it's what the person said to me in the collective.
Wow, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
everything is.
So you're taking
those
back
who
the
do
power.
know- yeah, those who do know,
Yeah.
it's like spot on of
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
And even down the chorus gives hints to like what career they might be in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they had said something, and they're also no longer they're no longer accepted at the establishment because of what they did.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. They fucked up.
They fucked up.
They fucked up. Yeah.
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 And they still are going on their merry way as if nothing happened, and people are still
They
like,
usually do.
they're
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
and I'm like, you have
Oh,
no
it's
idea.
tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Yeah. You just kind
Yeah.
of have to like. Eventually, people fall, and then it's like that's when you're like, that's a good moment. But other than that, it's like you can't really let it affect you.
Yeah, it
you have to be
Yeah.
better than those moments. You know what I mean?
And you would have thought, and like there's purposeful lyrics in this because they made such a big deal about like, I'm not a bully, I'm not like a bad person.
Yeah.
And to see everything that happened, I was like, what?
Yeah.
You did everything. You're a total hypocrite. Like you did
Yeah.
everything that you say you don't do. And you're a complete asshole. And you are too old
Mm-hmm.
to know like the shit that you're pulling.
Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
too old not to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, I think you captured that. You captured that vibe. Yeah.
but but I love how everyone's response is like, who hurt you? I need
you?
to know. And I'm like, you're never again. It's very
Yeah.
what's that song that's like, you're so vain?
Oh,
Oh, you probably think the song's about you.
Because Carly
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
said who it was. I think people speculated.
Yeah.
No
That's one of my-
reference
Yeah.
in that song.
What,
Until they die.
what was that, Danielle?
Who the song is about.
There's in that song. There's a lyric that references Nova Scotia.
Ooh.
Huh.
It's like
What is the
it's
lyric?
it's like you on your Learjet, your Learjet. You sent your traveled on your Learjet to Nova Scotia or something along those lines.
Huh.
So I have to I'd have
Huh.
to backtrack. I can't get the line myself.
Okay. So you
But
guys
yeah,
are
so
name
it's like-
drops.
Oh, it's one of those sad things that like in Canadian media, like if we are referenced
Yeah.
in anything, it's like a big deal. It's, we remember.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like
We're on the map.
Yes, it's sad, but it's like I will remember anything that Nova Scotia or Canada is referencing a lot of the time because it's just it's like a, we have our own media that's like not connected to the States at all.
Yeah.
For reference in like U.S. like movies or things like that, it's like we made it. Like, it's stupid, but it's like this weird thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like World War Z is another one with like that they end the movie in Nova Scotia.
Oh, really? Oh,
barely
wow.
filmed
You guys must have
there.
been proud.
It was during COVID. We had really low numbers, so I think that's part of the reason. I don't know.
I think it's not giving Canada. I'm giving Canada all their credit, but I think it's similar. Like if you're from a certain town and you hear that town in a movie and so forth. Like I am from Worcester, Massachusetts, and there's a few times where Worcester is referenced in like some TV or movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, but then I will like see the logistics of why they're mentioned, and then I'll be like, what? Worcester would never do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They got the reference, but they don't understand the culture.
There's an
fit in with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit with it. There's an episode of Dawson's Creek where, and it's in the later seasons, where one of the characters goes to Worcester to see a show. And I was like, you're telling me someone who was at the Cape went all the way to Worcester when they could have gone to Boston to see No Doubt in concert. I was like, none of this makes sense.
The logistics are insane.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm glad you like that song.
Yeah. That's a fun one. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was just gonna mention I love the breaking the fourth wall at the end there.
Yeah.
That's always fun. And then we have Looking In, track 8. Oh yeah.
All my past lovers are married now with children. I'm glad I'm not with them.
That line really hit me, man.
Yeah.
As a 36-year-old man, all of my past lovers are married now with children. It's like,
I'm
yeah,
glad I'm not with him, but it still makes me sad.
yeah,
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
I not good enough? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's fully. This is like. This was totally written about like all the people. I stumbled upon someone that like I kind of didn't have a thing with.
Yeah, yeah.
And I saw that they were married to someone who looked nearly identical to me and had a kid. And I was like, what?
Oh, that's rough.
And then, but
That's-
that's not the first time. This was like the second or third ex that like I look back at who they ended up with, and I was like, that's why I was like, was I just a pass through to your final destination? Like to me, that's what like
Yeah.
bothered me the most. Is
Yeah.
like okay, you're ending up with people who look so similar to me. So like, what was my problem? Like why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I love Looking In. I know that it's like the very like maybe this one doesn't fit with the album. It wasn't going to be on the album.
Oh, really? That would have been
yeah,
a mistake, I think.
It would have been a mistake,
Yeah.
fully mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really hard for me to place it in the album. I wasn't sure where to put it, but
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, but the more people who I let hear the album, they were like, "Oh my god, this is like you're so raw, you're so vulnerable. It's a totally different side of you and your vocals are different." I think Danielle earlier you said like it's a different side of me. And to
Yeah.
me, this is like Looking In is like how I started in music. Like I was doing those open mics, me and the guitar, me solo.
Yeah.
It feels like that in those times. And eventually I would love to have an album that fully feels like Looking In.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, honestly, that is a good like a rich like production sound to explore.
Which is it's so out of all of the songs, this was like the least production. It's so simple.
Yeah.
There was like
Yeah,
the
right.
smallest amount
Yeah.
of guitar, like, and but it sounds so full.
It
But,
sounds
like,
so
one of-
classic too. Like
It sounds
it feels like you could just throw this in the middle of 60s or 70s or something. You know what I mean? Like
I was like this in certain like terms
Yeah.
of the record length.
yeah,
This like I could hear it as a record because like
Yeah.
records have a warmer sound.
yeah,
And I found this song like I could visualize like you performing on stage. It was, 'cause I didn't know that
Yeah.
like you're talking about open mics and stuff. But it was
Yeah.
like hearing that I'm like you can hear it on an album like or sorry a record. You can see you
Yeah.
playing it. There's a warmth to it. There's
Yeah.
like a depth to it that's like different. Like the other ones, it's like I feel like there's a funness and there's like a playfulness and like creative expression. And then with this one, it's like it feels very stripped back and very much like I don't know, just like pure. There's a pureness to it.
yeah, definitely.
And it's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
There's something about it being it's like some raw feminine vulnerability part
Yeah.
about it.
Mhm.
And I love it. It's one of my favorite songs to perform. It's
Yeah, it's very bluesy.
I love the
Yeah.
blues.
Yeah,
My
it's got a blues
favorite
vibe.
this might be a shock to some people. My favorite genre is Bayou blues. I love that
Okay.
genre.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like you hear my album and you're like, oh, okay. Like I guess Bayou blues is your thing.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. And,
Yeah.
I was thinking of I don't know if you guys know the history of like Muscle Shoals and like the recording studio down there, but like back in the 60s and 70s, like that studio was like cranking out these like amazing songs with like Aretha Franklin and just these
Mhm.
epic songs.
Yeah.
There's a documentary, I believe it's just called Muscle Shoals, but
Okay.
when I hear Looking In, it reminds me of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
documentary and just
Mhm.
if I was gonna go with Casey Musgraves folky country, it's Looking In. That's how
Yeah.
I would sound.
Yeah.
I probably could add more twang to it, but
No, it's got just the right amount of twang, I think.
Yeah, it was good.
I think any more twang, and it might have needed to be on its own album. You know what I mean? Because then you're getting into like a different genre almost.
you'd be like, "What the fuck's happening?" I just heard Why I Don't Do Favors, and now I'm listening to a country song. What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you guys were talking about it a bit, but like, yeah, having so many different like genres present is like, I think something that past eras of pop music have really thrived with. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it has. I think a lot of times recently it has been more homogenous sound for an album. But Chappell Roan's album though is an album that flies in the face of that too. It's all sorts of different genres, which is part of the reason I think it is such a stone cold classic coming out of the gate.
You're seeing all different sides of her.
Yeah, all at once.
Same with this album. It's all different sides of me.
Yeah, and I really, it's refreshing.
Thanks.
This next track we got for you, it gets a little more exciting for a second before we get back into the acoustic zone. This is CMF.
The only one, my dear. I let you think you had me under your pathetic spell. You think you're the magician, you're the rabbit, can't you tell? You just holding me back from what I can do.
I can't tell. It's like I feel like one of my favorite vocals of the album. I think just
It has definitely like movie montage.
Yeah.
Like, working out kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, definitely. Like throw this on your workout playlist, people. You won't regret it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
This song and Means are actually about the same person.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
it's very similar feels.
Yeah. Vibe wise.
Yeah. But it's CMF. By the way, it was originally supposed to be called Confusing Motherfucker.
Yeah.
But in fairness to my parents, for like their kids' like very big first album, I wanted to be like a little bit nice.
That's
And so
nice.
Nice.
I just changed it to CMF.
I thought it was cool motherfucker before I heard the song. I was like, is it cool motherfucker? And then it ended up being the opposite, essentially.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
No, it's Confusing Motherfucker because he was a confusing motherfucker.
Yeah.
So that's really it. But
I thought maybe you were
very
going to say I'm a cool motherfucker, like
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I gotta rewrite the whole song now.
Yeah, maybe an alt live, maybe I don't know.
I'm a cool motherfucker. No, I love this song. I love I actually right before I went to like print the album, we had a version and I was like, nah, I'm still not feeling it. And it makes me laugh so hard that you love that vocal, Brad, because it was my brother who was like, no, you need some like opera part. Because originally it sounded very like Tron synth, which you can hear in the second. We left it in.
Yeah.
And it was just that. And my brother was like, no, you need some like a chorus here that's like, ah. And I was like, oh, fine, I'll go back in and I'll fix it. And so we tweaked a few things. And then I absolutely fell in love with it. And I was like, oh my God, my brother is right again. It needed the chorus sound in that part.
Yeah.
And I think that's what adds to that. Like, it feels like I'm like fighting a wizard. I think that's what my brother had.
Straight up.
D&D kind of S.
Yeah.
Like lightning bolts shooting out of like staffs and stuff.
Yeah. And I will say in this song, out of the entire album, my sister, who is a writer herself, she actually wrote the second verse of this song, which I find is a fantastic verse.
Okay, so you've have you had a little bit of each of your siblings on this, or is there one missing?
One's missing.
I don't mean to single them out. Sorry.
No, she's like the business side. She like helps. She has a business
so she's
major.
involved. She's involved. She's
involved with
She just
heavy
didn't put any vocals in.
didn't put any vocals in. My brother is the only one who's added vocals, and
Yeah.
my producer, of course.
Yeah.
But all of that chorus part, it's just me, just singing different octaves. My
Hell yeah.
brother
That's the
only
fucking way to
has-
do it.
It sounds so cool.
Yeah.
My brother only has vocals in Nights Like These, but he had like a lot of great. He was the one who suggested the saxophone in Nights Like These. He's the one who suggested the chorus and CMF. So like he has.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He has a good ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, I love CMF. And yeah, so my sister Donna, she has helped me write a lot of songs, or at least like helped like smooth them out.
Yeah.
She was I think she helped me with like every single song on my first EP.
Yeah.
But this album truly, I was actually shocked when I was like writing up the credits. I was like, oh, she only helped with this one. Like every other song is just me. And that really threw me. I was like, oh shit. Okay, this is really my album.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, CMF actually had she wrote the whole thing over, and then I was like, no, it needs to be Confusing Motherfucker.
Yeah.
It needs to have this sting to it, and but I loved her second verse, and that's why I kept it in.
Well, yeah, and the confusing motherfucker part is, I think, the most relatable part of it, because like,
right? Can you imagine if that wasn't there?
Yeah, we have all been in a dating situation where we're just utterly confused and we don't know, where things went wrong or right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's definitely like it's one of those things where it's like what happened? What was it?
Yeah. It's truly again, even though this sounds so like rock and like and really hardcore.
Yeah.
Again, the lyrics are really simple. Like you're just like the others, you confusing motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like it's truly me just being like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah.
Just say what you want.
Yeah. Say what you mean, dude.
Yeah. So I love how it opens with like, I don't need your approval to know that I'm a queen. Like I know my worth.
I love that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know my worth, and like you're not gonna hold me back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But it's such a great song. I just want to ride a motorcycle down the highway.
Yeah. This definitely this is a song to get you pumped for sure.
Yeah.
The production excellent. I was going to ask who else do you have personnel wise on the album?
Yes. It's Tara, who's one of the lead guitarists of the band Kitty, who's from Canada, another Canada highlight.
Yes. We love Canadians.
Yes.
We'll take it where we can get it. So.
You can have Wisconsin, please. Please take it.
And her and I became friends because she heard me on the Best Friends podcast that I was on.
Aw.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't know who was DMing me. I just thought it was like some random fan. I was like,
Right.
okay, thanks. It took me about 2 years to figure out who she was. I've never told her this, so if she's listening, that'll be very funny. It took me, she invited me to an album release party, and I was like, who is this? And I finally went to her page, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know who I was talking to.
Yeah.
Who is DMing me? And we met in person, similar to you and I, Brad. Like, we were talking online and then met in person in LA.
Yeah.
Went to her release party. We instantly connected. And I also brought my producer.
Yeah.
We all fell in love with each other. And I just was like, hey, would you want to be a part of this? And she was like, hey, I'm in LA on this date. Let's make it happen. And I was like, holy shit. So
yes.
You can hear her guitar through the entire song. And then her and I at I believe the bridge part, it's I acknowledge the mixing probably could be better, but you can hear it's meant to be kind of faded.
Well, yeah. I only say that because like I enjoyed the part so much. So I'm just yes, I want to hear more of this.
There's so much going on. I feel like I should just make a video of me stripping back each part. That
would be really cool. Because honestly,
Yeah.
I love that because it felt like another instrument.
Yeah.
I know that your voice is an instrument, but it was like on a whole other level that your voice was an instrument. You know?
And
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was hard during the mixing because so much was happening and you want to be able to hear everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I call it like it's like the competition part of like you hear her electric guitar, you hear
Yeah.
my opera, which I'm pretty sure I sing
Yes.
the highest note I've ever sung.
Yeah,
and
Which
you
even,
really go
like,
all
adds
over
to
the
the-
place. Yeah.
like you're talking about like that D&D kind of fantasy
Yes.
kind of like almost like visual.
you can see someone like
Yes, yes,
shaking
yes.
the dice and throwing
Yes.
it as it's happening.
Yes.
Like, oh,
Exactly.
I need
Yeah.
to
And
make
just
this
like
music video happen.
Dude, right? Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
the most nerdy thing on earth, and I love
Yeah.
every second of it.
Call up Apodaca. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
he'd be
Make it
interested, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I met one of the guy. Do you guys watch Critical Role?
No,
I've only seen reels. I've seen a lot of reels of Critical Role.
Okay, so I met the guy who does. Oh, I don't know any of the D&D.
Yeah, yeah, the main
head
guy,
guy?
the host kind of.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
met him at Brian's.
He seems
show.
fun.
He was very nice, and I was like, "Oh my god, we should just ask him to be in this music video if this happens."
Dude, yeah, right?
I
Right?
hope you did.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I hope you will.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
like one of those videos where like it's not like focused on you, but you're like there, you know?
Mhm.
Like you make an appearance, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, I love the song. It's so fun. If I need to be amped up, this
Yeah.
is the song I listen
It's
to.
good.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good amp up song
Glad
for
you
sure.
guys like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
cool.
you take us out easy, a nice positive way. Here's Unknown Owner.
Dear
Oh, yeah.
unknown owner of my heart, wherever you are, come my way. Dear
It-
unknown-
Is there a little bit of crackling on that?
Yes, there's like a record scratch plugin.
Oh
that we
my
put
god.
on, or effect that we put on.
Oh my god, I just noticed that this time. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Nice.
It'll be double on
Cool.
the vinyl.
I was like, this sounds
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
warm.
exactly.
It sounds so warm
does.
and nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my producer's touch because she was like, not that it sounded great without it, but she was like,
Yeah.
we want to give it like just like an extra touch. And
Well,
I
yeah,
think
it almost-
really made it work.
Like it almost evokes like being by the fire or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
With the
Yeah,
crackles and
I can
stuff.
see that. Yeah.
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 I definitely picture like wedding venues, like first dance kind of. vibes.
Yes. Very much
Like,
so.
It's very easy to like because it has that like kind of very slow that like you can picture people like dancing to it.
Slow
So it's really
dancing to
pretty.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
like I just find I've never like I like that idea of you're writing a love song to someone you don't
You've
know
never
who they are.
met.
Yeah.
You never met, like you don't know when you're gonna meet them, but it's like that idea of like
Yeah.
putting it out there and being like, I'm gonna trust that I'm gonna eventually have them in my life and just like putting it out,
Yeah.
Yeah. Manifesting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know, like
Yeah.
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 And again, this was like with I guess the concept of the album.
Yeah.
You're at that part where you've gone through the why don't do favors, the like
Yeah.
realize the like looking like you've gone through this whole album
Yeah.
being like, what the heck? And so I wanted
Yeah.
it to end on that high note, that hopeful note of,
Yeah.
okay, I went through all of this. I kissed all these frogs. And
Ah.
whoever comes next, I really hope it's worth it. And like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep waiting for you. And it's
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think to me, it's a sad song because it's something that I felt for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But I know to others, and like hearing what you guys have said about about this song is like, it is such a sweet song.
Yeah.
And
Very
it's
sweet
written-
sentiment.
Yeah, it's very sentimental. But from the perspective of me writing it, I do view it as a sad song because it's like, oh, I wrote this during that sad time and just being like so defeated and being
Yeah.
like, okay, who like my parents have our high school sweethearts, and funny enough, met in chemistry class and like have been together forever and are each other's best friends. And it's like, okay, what happened to me? Why am I waiting?
Yeah.
So it's that like
Yeah.
like I'm trying to be patient. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? So
Yeah.
that's kind of but I love Unknown Owner. It's my I think I've said this before, it's my parents' favorite song.
Oh yeah,
I love
absolutely.
the title too.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a cool title, right?
It's
Unknown
really
Owner.
cool. I
Well,
love
yeah,
that.
this one is one I think that can, like, you know, like you said, with your parents, like it can span over several generations because of the subject matter and
Yeah.
the style, you know, too is very accessible. So it's like, yeah, I mean, this is one that, you know, you can throw on for anyone and they'll get something out of it, I think, you know. Yeah, very accessible idea and yeah, it's so sweet. It's just yeah, just a nice idea. Like there's a thing that a term that I heard from someone that was on the podcast, which is actually, so there's a thing called Lonely Hearts Club that used to be a thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's where people would like, it was like dating, like you know, people that were also, you know, looking, and I've always liked that.
Didn't the Beatles also have the Lonely
Well, yeah,
Hearts
they had the
Club?
Lonely Hearts
Yeah.
Club band. That's what I knew that from. I didn't know what Lonely Hearts Club was. I didn't know that was a real thing until like recently, and I was just like, oh, that's like the best way, I think, to talk about like people that are older and still looking for love. Lonely Hearts Club, you know, it's yeah. I think we should bring it back, is what I'm saying. Lonely Hearts
Great.
Club.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
That, you know what? That'll be my next album.
Yeah, Lonely Heart. Yeah, you
I'm
know.
gonna rip off the Beatles. It's be fun.
But then you'll be able to tell them like, no, this was before the Beatles. You don't even know.
Somehow travel back in time. And
This is pre-Beatles.
I'm 100 years old.
Engineer Brett's going to be so pissed at you for taking that title. But yeah. So we've gotten through the album, and there is one more thing we have to do before we get out of the podcast, and that is judge the album. It is now time
You can be
to
as hard as you want.
judge.
I'd rather you be super critical.
Well, I mean, honestly, fortunately, like, it is actually much more of a concept album than I was anticipating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does have a through line. You are staying on the subject matter throughout, and yeah, I mean, I think that it would just, like, we do like 1 to 5, 5 being like the Wall and Tommy and whatnot, your Chris Gaines, you know. And then 1 being like maybe like a soundtrack or something that's not even really a concept album, you know.
Yeah.
I think that this would easily be in a 3.5 to 4 for me. I think that it is a concept album. It is connected, and it made me feel a lot of things, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. That's that would be my rating. And
I
you
would
guys can rate as well.
I would definitely like echo those sentiments, or like have it at 4 out of 5 too. Like, it's just because I like the idea of like kind of like focusing on a night in like our lives, and like those pivotal moments, or those like interactions, because like honestly there's a few that you mentioned that like there are things you're always going to remember, like certain people that you met that like things fizzled out, or like things fell apart, and you're just like, you kind of encapsulated it, or like memorialized it in a song.
Yeah,
So it's like
memorialized.
that,
Yeah, that's a good way to
it's
say
like
it.
that idea of like having it you know, span those kind of nights that we kind of remember, and maybe not for the best reasons, but they stuck with us. So I definitely would put it into that kind of number thing.
Yeah. Okay, 3.5 to 4. Okay. And then you get to judge too, Jordan.
I get to judge
you
too?
get to vote too. Yeah.
Okay.
We take all, you know. One time we had a band on that voted 6.9 for their own album. Apparently it's usually 1 to 5, but they voted 6.9, so I wrote it on the books.
Scale.
Yeah. That's the only one I think that did average out to over 5. So, but
Okay. I'm like, hey, it's at 10. I'm just kidding. No, I think I would agree with you guys because as I was making this album, I wasn't thinking of a concept.
mhm.
I think I just was like, these are my songs and this is
Yeah.
how I'm going to place them.
Yeah.
But then, like, as I was getting near to the end of the album coming out, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this does have like a storyline and an arc
Yeah.
to it. And like, I purposely put songs in places because it would flow. And I know a
Mhm.
lot of musicians who are very purposeful with
Yeah.
their placement of songs. But for me at the time, I was like, oh, this sounds good into this, sounds good into that. But then
Yeah.
when you look at it from a lyric standpoint, I'm like, oh, no, this is like, you can see a relationship starting, then it's done, then it's going back, and then I'm angry, and then it's like here, and it's.
Mhm.
I would agree. I think a
Yeah.
3.5 out of 4
Yeah.
does make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
for
You get the whole roller coaster ride. You know.
yeah, the whole
Yeah.
roller coaster ride.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that it's probably going to be one of those albums that like you look back at it and it like really captures a like particular time in your life too. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of like I mean that's part of the reason that Charlie XCX's Brat is as I think as good as it is because it is capturing a very specific time in her life where she's dealing with one of her best friends dying and really trying to reestablish herself. And it's a very, very personal
The
album, which
moment.
is why it rose, up to the top, so.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the yours has similar qualities in that sense. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I think with this album, I mean, it's all stuff that I was feeling. And I know that it's so cliche, especially when we were younger and being told like you're not alone, everyone goes through the same thing. And I
Mhm.
think when I was growing up, I'm a pretty empathetic person, and
Yeah.
I will find sometimes that people will just come up to me and start telling me their life story, and I'm like, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah. I get that
and-
kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same.
it's very I'm always like, how can I serve others? I usually I was telling
Mhm.
yeah, I was telling my producer that sometimes if I don't want to go out somewhere, but I know I should, I kind of frame it as like, okay, I'm meant to go out for some reason, and it's
Yes.
I usually frame
Yeah.
it as, okay, how can I serve others in this moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have times with people that they will all of a sudden tell me they're going through a breakup, and the next thing I know, we're hugging and they're crying, and I'm like, everything's okay, it's all good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
to think of it from my album's perspective of like, I know for a fact that people have been confused by
Mhm.
someone that they're trying to date, or something's not clear, or someone pissed them the fuck off and they don't
Mhm.
know how to get that out there. So I like to imagine that there's a song in this album for everyone.
Mhm.
And even if you don't like the whole album, that's totally fine and doable. There's plenty of albums where I'm like, I only like one song on this album.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I at least, if I can get you to like one song or
Yeah.
get the feels from
Yeah.
one song, then I've done my
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
That's it.
Excellent. Excellent. Well,
Thank you guys so
Engineer
much.
Jordan, thank you. Or sorry, Jordan Duffy. It's still
love it.
default my brain. Jordan
I still
Duffy.
think I'm Engineer Jordan on Discord, so it's all good.
Yeah. There are still the fans that still follow you from the podcasting days.
I need
so.
to have an Engineer Jordan shirt.
Yeah,
I'm convinced
yeah.
I need to have one.
Yeah. That'd be great. But yeah, we really appreciate you being on the podcast. Where
so much
would
for having
you
me on.
suggest people tune into your album? I know you have a Bandcamp.
I have a Bandcamp where you can physically go
Yeah.
buy it. I'm hopefully on my website, jordanduffymusic.com. There will be physical CDs and merch you can order in the near future. It will happen. I'm trying to get it uploaded.
Merch.
It's amazing how hard
Yeah.
it is to put merch on a website. I don't understand
merch
why.
is always the tough part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to Jordan Duffy Music. It's usually updated all the time. My Instagram, Jordan K. Duffy. And you can listen to my album anywhere. If you want to support me, Bandcamp would be great.
Yes.
Otherwise, I know people, I know their situation. Go stream it.
Yeah.
All the time. Just
Mm-hmm.
play it constantly.
Yes, yes. just play it, and then you can even walk away if you need to, but just keep it playing. Keep
I need to watch my
keep
music
those plays
videos.
playing. Yeah. Oh, we'll make sure to put some links in the description with some of the music videos when the episode actually the audio episode drops.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. This was
thanks for coming on
so
again. Like it's so great to have you come back after a couple times, like having your own thing, and
That's so cool.
after talking about music with you, like it's like a full circle kind of episode,
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's like when Billie Eilish goes back every year to Vanity Fair for her interviews. This is my Vanity Fair.
Oh, I don't think we mentioned during the podcast. You said you had the drummer for Billie Eilish on some of these tracks.
Yes, the drummer Andrew Marshall, who is the drummer and the band leader of Billie Eilish and her band, plays the drums on all of my songs in the album.
That's freaking cool.
That's so cool.
I don't think we mentioned it at any point, but
super nice.
There's so many things like mentioned in the breaks that I'm like, why did we take a break?
yeah. There's a lot. Yeah.
Going?
Yeah. People are gonna.
I recorded all the audio, just like punch it in somewhere.
Yeah.
Like your sister's book, which I was so sad that I feel like you should plug it because it's.
Oh yeah, my sister has a.
Yeah.
She self-published this book long ago. It's called Donna the Dead Presents Sex Ed for the Undead. It's a zombie sex
What?
book that's
Hold
animated.
on.
It's so fantastic.
Dawn of the Dead presents what?
Donna the Dead presents Sex Ed for the Undead. It's
Donna, like the name is Donna.
Donna.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll put a link to that in the description as well.
Limbs should be falling off in those.
If you look at the imagery, it's the cutest images, all of them. But there are some crazy moves. I'll tell you one. I helped out with this title of this position called Rigor Tits.
Nice. This sounds like a really fun book.
It's a very
it does.
I'm going to put a link in the description for that. Danielle, you're working on some writings too, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Jordan about it earlier. I have the cover now.
Okay.
It's done. It's just in the little tiny minute it's probably gonna be up there within the next few days.
Okay.
Which is insane to think about because this has been something that I wrote a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That I just am now I need to get rid of it so I can write something else because
I can't
get it published until I can't. I feel like my brain's like that where it's just I need to get this done. So
you need to finish the first thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's so many people who they'll start a project and not finish it, and I'm like I need this actually done.
Yeah.
So then I can do the other thing. And it's I changed the title. It's been a working title for a long time, but it's now it's Life in Lemons. I'm so sorry. I gotta look at. I'm not gonna.
Well, you just you changed the title recently, right? Like it had a different title before.
So that's exactly it. Thank you for defending
with
me.
my lyrics. If you watch me perform, I'm pretty sure there's at least one song where I'm like, "What's the lyrics again?"
It was funny because when I brought up a lyric to you earlier, you kind of looked at me like you had. It was
I know. I was like, "What did I write? What did I write?"
So that made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it's called Life in Lemons: a guide for making proverbial lemonade. So it's all of this idea of I don't know if the cover is not going to be that obvious, but it's probably too there's a lemon. I put my cat on the back. Anyway,
Cute.
it's just,
yeah.
It's really just looking at for example, being poor as a kid.
Yeah.
And what are the things that were benefits from that? What kind of things did I get out of that actually are cool? Maybe I treat the CEO and the homeless guy the same. That I don't view one as better than the other. Maybe it's I have more resilience. It's
creative thinking.
Yeah, you're able to problem solve. You're able to deal with burdens in life maybe a little easier than someone who was handed everything in their life.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things where it's taking those kind of life events and then trying to where's the silver lining? What's the learning lesson? Where's the part of me that felt like I gained something from the experience? So
yeah. That's that's needed, That's very needed.
Yeah.
And you said it's going to be done in a few days?
Yeah, like it's done. I'm just like I'm in the process of
Okay.
like, uploading it to Amazon
All
because
right.
like they have a whole self-publishing kind of thing
Yeah.
there. So
Well
you just click
then,
on it and buy it and stuff.
yeah. Well then that's good because like by the time the audio version of the episode comes out, I'll have a link for it in the description.
Well, yeah, then I'll put like the fire under my ass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you got about
You
a
gotta
week and a
finish it.
half or something.
I know, right? I gotta
Yeah,
do it. I
yeah.
gotta do it.
Until you will make me a liar, and you don't want to make this
No, I don't
podcast a
wanna do
liar.
that.
You know, like so.
Never.
Yeah. But thank you all, Danielle and Jordan. It's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for listening to the show. And go to flyover or youtube.com/flyover state park for all of our content. We prefer you listening to it there rather than Spotify if you get the chance.
Cool.
But we love y'all. You have a good one.